Alrighty. We are back. Hope everybody's doing good. A good evening. Almost thought we weren't going to be streaming tonight. YouTube was going crazy. I did see you got DaVinci Resolve to work. What was wrong with it? Why wasn't it working? Did you just download it? Pretty easy, I thought. Drivers. That'll do it. That'll do it. Lud is not first. And we're literally sitting here. What's up, crazy? Welcome in. We're sitting here on his world, too. And he's not even gonna be here? What is this? As always, my settings all change. Welcome in, Travis. Oh, he's here. He's here. He's just slow. Welcome in. Art with Alex, Uzin, Lud, Travis, Grim, Crazy Shep, Shastia, Off Grid. Let's go. Let's go. You were watching Burnt Peanut? He's hilarious, dude.
Such was the power of the creature's stench that brought
He
the
is
party to
freaking
their
hilarious. Raider, welcome in. You got crazy allergies? Dude, I don't know what happened. It's not allergies, but earlier I was like... Just one of those times where you like choke on something. For this, I don't know how to say this without sounding horrible. But started choking on my own spit and then was just like... And I've just had a cough attack for the last hour. I'm dying. So I'm hoping talking all night's not going to make me cough more. We'll see. How you doing, Grim? Hopefully doing good. We got Ludarav's base up first tonight. Tossing him in the mix so he can be here live. What's up, Pasta? Hot Sauce? What's up? What's up? I'm gonna let him go first because he's got to go to bed early. He's got a big boy job. Got to get up early. Welcome in, Sam. Hope you're doing good.
I sense a grub is beneath the surface of the earth. I wonder if they
So we'll
have
give
vision
everybody a
being
few minutes, just
underground
a few
so much.
minutes, and then we'll get going on Ludarav's base. Thank you for the bits, Uzin, as well. On thinking about it. Shout out to the fellow Grim on some of his ideas, of course. Grim's got some good ideas out. Everyone's got good ideas. It's going crazy. I'm not on Chap's level of Lint. That's some insanity. I don't know how you even collected that much Chap. I feel like I've been farming like crazy. So whatever the tech is, whatever the new tech is, you need to let me know how you're figuring out how to get that much Lint, because I've been grinding. Man. I don't have a full chest, but I have like half a chest almost. We're getting close. Big boy job, I'll be back. Sounds good, Travis. It's a rough life. Working crap. It's horrible. Just got off work and headed home. Let's go. Chap has hacks. If that duplication glitch everyone's all excited about that's worthless was actually good and made Lint, I might have to partake. Because holy cow, the Lint grind right now is rough. And trying to get the Lint up on that stupid scarecrow is absolutely infuriating. Even after building stuff. Like, it's absolutely infuriating. I'm losing my mind trying to get this stuff. At least in Grounded 1, it was like a really easy like line. I had a really good path. This is like, well, you get 2 here, and then you get like 3 there, and you get a couple here, and then you gotta run all the way over here. Like, at least it was all in the undershed and on one glove in the first game. It was easy. It's everywhere. It's like such a long trek to get it now. And you lose half of it. Living by the picnic too? Yeah. I have to run all the way over there, but still, it's 5 days to get it to respawn. Miserable. You hate the L word? It's a pain. It's the biggest bane of my life. It does help. It does help, chap, being next to the table. But even then, I mean, I have another base there, but I'm like right in the middle of everything now.
This counts as research. Another one for the compendium.
You're welcome, Lud. Got you a card. Can't make it too easy. The dev's seen too many easy runs in the first one. My run was efficient. It wasn't easy. It was efficient. I actually sent a message to Eric. I was like, can we talk to the new devs about the pain that is resource placement right now? I said it very nicely because the game's amazing and I'm loving everything about it. But it feels like there's a little less love and care. Whereas like in the first game, when you chopped 40 burrs down, they all fell into like one collection area. So you didn't really have to try that hard. Whereas right now, it's like everything falls in different directions and nothing falls in the same places. Lint is like half clipped into the gloves because of the placement of it. And I'm like, just like, make a little mention. Like, it doesn't have to be painful to farm. It's already painful enough as it is. But let's not make it horrible. Let's think about it. But I said it very, very nice, respectful way. So hopefully they take note and maybe make our lives just a little easier. Just a little bit. It would be nice. Hoping for a new base behind the statue. Let's go, Art. Welcome in, a thief. Hope you're doing good. There's a mod to make it 100% chance to get gold cards, but doesn't that just make it not fun? Yeah, that's not fun. I mean, gold cards don't really do you anything but get you more trapper peepers. So it's like at the end of the day, like cheating it doesn't really help. What else are you supposed to do? If you're not building mega bases, you're farming gold cards and getting farming stuff. When you tour my base, you should look at what I did to get all the lint spots. I'll check it out. I have built around some of mine, but I've been gathering lint and it's... I don't really want to bring grass up onto the scarecrow or anything. That would be miserable. So I've been using lint, which feels sacrilegious. Gotta see what Ludarav has been up to in the new garden area. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Although, Alfredo, what you've been up to in the new area is also very cool, which we'll be seeing tonight as well. Sleeping every chance you get. I try. See what I was talking about with the heat waves? Yes, I did, Rock Me. I did see that. That is cool. Makes it better. Snake scales? Yeah, I've been farming those as much as I can as well. Yeah, Ducky, we could do your tour probably next week. I don't think we have too many bases on the list. You did good, a thief. It's snowing here? It snowed this morning. Yeah, I dislike Alfredo for building with snake scales in his too. Flower bed spot is still and always going to be my favorite. It is a cool spot. It is a cool spot. I'm excited to see whatever you're working on, Shikaka, as well. The remaking. All right. Let's get into it. So, we have Ludarav's base up first. He's got an early night, so we're going to review his. He's revealing his secret location to all of us now. So we're over here in the corner, but we got a ways to get up here. Got a little ways to go, so bear with me. He's making me climb all the way to the top. Can't believe this. Making me work. Thought of a more elegant idea to put text boxes in your worlds. Oh, good to know. What's my favorite peanut costume? Ooh, that's hard. That's really hard. I do love the SpongeBob one with the spatula because I'm a SpongeBob nerd, but I was dying when he made the Hutch one. That was hilarious. That reveal was one of the funniest things live to see. Threw it out there just to wreck him. Yeah, I was there live when he did that one. That was one of the funniest things. Oh, man. Hardcore parkour. It's like, it freaks me out because I always forget that I'm in creative on your worlds and I see bugs and I'm like, get ready. Get ready for the fight. But it never comes. Started a new survivor world. Now I gotta get used to farming the materials. It is a process. So yeah, we're going up. We're going real up in this one. I do have the handy net. Yes, correct. I always forget. But the range is also not that great. Uh-oh. Oh, we're good. We're good. We made it. Wait, there's more up? I didn't see that earlier. I went straight in here. Well, first off, Lud, the freaking lighting, dude. This is going to be so fun. The floors and stuff with these new pieces are going to be absolutely ridiculous. So excited about these. This already looks so cool. There's like so many ideas running through my head for this base I'm working on for how we could mess with this stuff. Although I haven't planned as well as you have. We'll see. Yeah, these new pieces are like such a cool piece. And the fact that you can place them right on top of this stuff makes it really interesting. There's so many options. Love this design. These look really cool too. There's just like so much detail in the pumpkin, which is really fun. Love the arches. We have the Stinger's Weapon Shop. As always. See these coming back like that. So much. And there's just more to come. I think is what's even better. Ooh, the ceiling too. Even that looks freaking awesome. This is right up my alley. Old school with the new school. That's the perfect mix. You got to bring back the good stuff that we learned before we go too crazy. Just subtly throwing in little pieces of snake. I see how it is. Just flexing. Yeah, it's a really cool ceiling. There's just like so many patterns you can do with it. So many little patterns with this new piece that I don't think the devs even remotely thought about. So much chaos. Oh, yeah. It looks so good with the mushroom as the ceiling, too. Back here grinding away. I can definitely hear all the little cockroach nymphs like scurrying around the base. So many things. Yeah, these look nice too. He's not quite that far yet. He's not into the world building quite yet. We're getting there though. He needs a little more time to get to that level. Yeah, I love this, how this is like so thick. The mushroom one's cool, but there's just something about this, like the burr pieces that look so nice. They added the little lights and stuff. Ugh. Close the door? Like the front door? What's gonna happen? Oh, of course. Of course it's hiding. Missed that earlier. Oh, this gives so many ideas. Such an interesting, and it's like they made it so unique with like just a simple stem piece here, and then like these pieces are totally different. Yeah, loving the off-grid little work here too. Stack the two pieces together, that looks really nice. I think it's mostly on one grid, but we can just have a little bit of grid fooling around. A little bit. Yeah, these look so cool. There, oh, he's on the roof. That's where he's hiding. Yeah, mostly one, but the big towers. Very cool. The lighting looks so nice. Like, these are going to be so cool to mess with. Like, built-in little lights on everything. Ooh, this looks nice, too. It's the simple things sometimes that just look so good. Yeah, this is going to be really interesting to mess with. There's just so many little ideas. Welcome in, Sark. How you doing? So many things happening. Lud does build very fast. There's 70 days in this. He is building in creative, so that speeds it up, of course. Building in survival makes it exponentially more time consuming, for sure. I was wondering earlier when I was walking through to get the picture for, or the screenshot for stream, I was like, how do I even get up there? Yeah, this combination is going to be really cool. There's bringing back the old. Love it. These floors are going to be so fun to mess with. My floors are going to get really thick, but we're also going to be building a tower. So I think it's going to be perfect to be messing with some of this kind of new stuff. Very nice. Yeah, as always, the lighting is next level. Looks really good everywhere. Stream more? I can't. Wish I could. Balconies are really cool. This, like, I'm really interested in messing with ideas with, like, this tiered archways and stuff with the new arches. They look so good. Yeah, Lud is the reason my lighting has got so good. Without Lud, it would be like I would never have gotten anywhere near as good at lighting as I got with my builds. It'd have been way more basic. Although my FPS is doo-doo because of it. Too lazy to focus on lighting in your survival game. It makes, I will always say, like, the one thing that I feel like truly brings grounded builds to life is that extra level of lighting. It really makes, like, such a big difference. It really takes them from, like, good to phenomenal. It really makes a big, big difference in the long run. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Lud, you gotta mark these things out, man. You can't just walk in on someone like that. Unknowingly. This thing looks nice too. So many cool things. Had to do it. There's always a toilet. Sitting on a toilet. Sitting on a toilet. Anyone knows that, Vine? Hopefully I'm not alone. Sound insane. It's kind of world building. Are they pointing at me? What did I do? I'm sorry. Home of the Gret Stinger. Yeah, these braziers are going to be so fun to mess with too. Yeah, it's just like, even with just the pumpkin, the amount of new, like, combinations of materials we have is so good. Oh, this floor too. So many ideas to just be like, curious if these would, like, clip in or something weird. There's so many things you can do with the floors now. This looks really nice. It's like such a simple design, but it also just a little bit of light poking through looks really nice. These are just the triangles, yeah. I love the pumpkin construction. I think it's going to take some getting used to like, of how we're going to mess with it and use it, but I think it opens up a lot of really interesting ideas. Same with, like, the snake roof. Although the snake roof, I don't know how much we're going to use because it's so freaking expensive. You know what this is? Oops. I don't even remember how much they cost. Yeah, 2 scales for a roof is painful. At least some of them are 1, but, like, 2 scales is pricey. It's a painful cost. You get 4 per run. At least they spawn more than Lint, I guess. Could be worse, but Yeah, you wouldn't know what the cost is. You just get to play. Yeah, there's just like so many combinations of materials now, I think is what's so insane. And like the inside of the snake roof also is such an interesting piece. We're gonna have to mess with. I don't want to mess with it because it's so expensive, but it's so cool. Like the founder stuff, if you don't have the founders edition stuff, I think as builders it's absolutely worth the extra $10. I know a little pay to win, I get it. It's always a little frustrating, but the new stuff that you get from it is so good. There's a little balcony. Yeah, like these little windows look so, it's just like such a nice little detail on this stuff. It's gonna be really interesting to mess with. Really wondering what, if anything, gets stuck into survival with the playground, or snuck into the into survival with the playgrounds update. I hope we get something. I'm not crossing my fingers. Let's say that. Definitely not crossing my fingers. Whoa, those look really cool lit up. Interesting. It's like, it feels like this is like a secret door. Secret tunnel. Yeah, using armor stands too makes things look really nice. I like that there's exclusive stuff, makes it so rewarding when you have it, yeah. And it's still cheaper. Like, it's still a really inexpensive game at $39 for what we're gonna get at the end of it. It's worth it. Yeah, the snake scales are ridiculous. I have like 70 or something right now. No secret tunnels except behind that door. Okay, the one door we missed. We saw. Very cool. For just 70 creative days. It's a really interesting location too. When you were like, you should use the you should use this spot, I was like, in survival, getting up here would be horrible. Not a fun time. Didn't want to fall down. Like that you get more than just armor now. Yeah, the armor wasn't as worth, but now that we're getting like more unique stuff, it's really cool. Oh, dang it. That's the limit. As far as you can go. At least you have more space though. This will be interesting to build around too. I wanted to build up to the light on the lamppost, but we didn't get there. Did not get there. Oh, okay. How did I miss this? What the heck? Is that all just down here? Okay. I was like, I felt like there was more. More little chandeliers. We get a gnat flying around the outside. Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely do that once we get to this next balcony. Very cool little details, man. The lit up chairs and stuff look really nice too. It's so bright. Rugs are really interesting. So much to see. So little time. Okay, so this is where the towers from the bottom come. Did you do the I'm gonna butcher. I can't remember who sent the idea for the new off-grid tech. Is that how you did these ones, Lud? All the way up here? Or did it allow you to use this? Like, it's like the Pebble Foundation, or the Pebble Path one, I think. That allows you to do it now? I'll have to show that off. I need to get working on that video, but I've not had any time. I'm already finding the Grounded 2 map incredibly large. Yeah, it's very, very large. This was Lud's secret spot, yeah. All the way up. Very interesting. There's just so much you can do. It's all separate off-gridded. I use some ideas given to me by the Fellogram. Okay. Yeah, we found one where Because you used to have to be like located on the ground to place off grid, but now I can't remember who had said it, who figured it out. I apologize about that. I got too many names in my head. But you could use the like scaffolding and then build it, place a floor, and then you could, where are they? Is it this? Oh, maybe it was this. So for those who are interested, I can't do it. I gotta figure out how they did it again. Thought it was this, was it not? Yeah, you can place it like up in the air now. Yeah, there you go. Which you couldn't really do in the first game. So now you can kind of mess with grids. I think there's a more efficient way to do it, which I'll make a video on at some point. But if you want to build, like when we were looking at our Teiroses, they essentially built inside a column to build an off-grid portion hundreds of meters up like this to do it. So they built like all the way from the bottom, whereas now you could just build it off that point. Yeah, the pebbles worked around it essentially. I don't know if anyone, it probably worked in the first game, but we just never found it. I don't know of anyone that had like commented on it or anything. So we're down below now. It's like, where are we? I'm lost. Still have the upstairs to see too. Like a little heart. Yeah, pebble paths we figured out or something. So many things. All the new tech. We're gonna be breaking this game like crazy. I'm hoping I can find some interesting ways to do some off-grid stuff really high up. Gonna mess with that? Yeah, it's a really interesting idea. We'll check out. I have a couple pictures that I can post in the Discord. I have to figure out who sent them again, and so I can find them. But we can post that in the Discord. I'll remind myself. What a beautiful little spot to just sit and hang out with. Not holding your breath with anything sneaking in, but with them porting everything from Grounded 1 and everything so far from Grounded 2, I have a hard time believing that something won't make it in. I'd be really happy if they did, that's for sure. I'd be slightly surprised, but you never know. Yeah, the views are great. I mean, when you're up this high, it makes sense to get the cool views. For sure. Nomad? Yeah, I think it might have been Nomad. I just butchered it and said someone else last time. Yeah, these roofs are really interesting too. But this is like right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This is almost every... Like, this would use half of the snake scales just to do this ridge that I currently have collected. And I feel like I'm farming them pretty consistently. I'm not totally 100%, but man. Cashier, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Decorated Seamus, don't know why YouTube is now showing your email tag. No worries. There's always new names, and everyone's name's different on different platforms and stuff. I get it. It's a really fun little layout, man. So much going on. I think that is everything. Thank you, of course. Well, as always, man, with the first impressions, gotta say I love it. It's a really fun, unique build location, especially since you're playing in creative. It makes it really fun. Can't remember how to use the handy net anymore. Yeah, I like how you like utilized everything really well. with like the gaps and stuff here. I think that's like my favorite part of it, that it's like built into this thing. It's like using the terrain that's already, or the asset that's in the game already. It's very interesting. I think that's like my favorite part of it, and like having the cantilevered stuff be supported from the pieces below. Because I thought, like, I was really wanting to build on this one, but I just didn't feel like there was enough space to build the big base that I wanted to build. But I kind of had pictured some smaller bases, but this looks really cool. First impressions, man, as always, give you an 8 out of 10. I know you can build bigger and better and crazier, but time will happen. I have big expectations in the long run when you just get absolutely insane with it. But these are really interesting ideas. Just the use of materials really fun. The layout and interior, as always, is like top notch. For anyone trying to have better interiors, always check out Lud's stuff. This is what I aspire to. I do a lot better with the exteriors. He always has like this phenomenal interior design and layouts. The way you're just like snaking through all these different spaces, and there's the floor layouts and everything is really well done as always. It's like a decent amount of symmetry, but also the insides don't feel like they're just carbon copies of the outside, which I think is always really cool. Yeah, the barrels and stuff are really cool. There's so many unique little things. Something Enshrouded has helped me a lot. I have more interior design thoughts now than I've ever had. But this always gets me excited to build the inside of my bases and make them really detailed and cool. Can't wait to come back to it and rewatch the details of the interior on the VOD or YouTube video. Yeah, definitely. Lot to be learned, as always. But yeah, the interiors, man, 9, easy. The floors are freaking cool. Like, the ceilings are cool. The use of materials and the blocks and everything are freaking awesome. So it's like all, again, like lighting. Lighting is freaking insane, as always. Now, you can't see it now, but like the lighting on the floors, the lighting on the walls, the lighting on the outside, like everything is so well lit, as always. Welcome in, Cat. How you doing? Yeah, these little lights are so interesting. These are going to be a fun detail to mess with. Such a nice little detail you can't get any other way. Be interesting, because those don't work like they did in the first game, too, I noticed. Like when you're filling in the gap. They don't quite fill in the gap as well as they did, is one thing I've noticed. Kind of get these weird overlaps and stuff because of the new designs, but they're still kind of cool. Arch lights don't give off enough light, unfortunately. Yeah, they are a little subdued, but they still look really cool. It's enough that the piece just has that extra detail, I think. Materials and exterior, you knocked it out of the park with this one, Lude. Easy 9. Very cool. I love the different combinations. Like you're using all the different materials. You have different materials on the inside. You have different materials on the outside. You're doing the fun little combinations with the pebble. For anyone who's curious, if you use the pebble ramps, you can place them in between blocks like this. You can't do that with the other types. With the half ones, they won't fit in them. But for some reason, the pebble ramps let you do that, weirdly enough. They make a really nice, like, inlay material for anyone looking for an idea like that. If you want to switch up the materials and stuff, looks really nice. It also kind of feels like a good mix. The, like, brown and orange colors together look really nice. They look good with the burr, too. Look like close enough color combination that they look nice. Very cool. Structurally, dude, one of my more favorite structure. You have some really cool structural ones, but I love the way that these like are just structurally supported by each other, which is really cool. I mean, as always, you do a great job making things look legit. And it's like the supports are really nice. The supports here on these areas to like switch them up, use different materials. Everything is, but these columns look freaking epic. Very, very cool. Little addition and to use the off-grid designs to like add in extra details in the lower areas and stuff too. Very nice. Yeah, your favorite part of the build is the pillars. Yeah, it opens up a lot of cool ideas, I think, for sure. I'm so excited to have freaking pillars back. Makes life so much easier. They're such a cool block to work with. Really like those though. It's a really nice design to like have this overlapping piece that connects these two, so it's not just a base here and a base there, but they're like visually connected. Favorite part is the view. Yeah, the views are really nice, especially when you're building this high up to give yourself that like opening view of this whole thing. Is very nice. What's happened? Oh, pressing the wrong buttons. Pressing the enshrouded buttons. Yeah, so much potential with the off-grid techniques. Exactly. Makes you want to try some Roman-styled architecture. Yeah, they look super nice. They're very, very cool. Makes me like, it reminds me of the pillars we did in my base for the like temple build we did. The subscribers temple, but just another interesting design, and it looks so much better when you can like I've seen this design a little bit in the first game, but it looks so much better when there's like two materials in it too. It adds a really nice extra little detail to it, and even like that they're lit up on the inside and stuff too. I think they're actually bugged because if you look at settings when picking light color, it shows it way more lit up. It's possible. Hard to know how they're planning on some of that stuff. But yeah, it looks really good, man. The functionality, of course, as a creative base is always a little hard to grade on yours, but it's like they always function in really interesting ways, and I think they give off, as always, really cool ideas for people and how to use the interior kind of design, how to use crafting tables in more interesting ways, how to use armor dummies, like how to make little bars and stuff for their things, little display things, like every piece of it, just, it always, there's no function other than entertainment value, but at the same time, like it shows how to make interesting functional things. Ghost Nat was very handy to light it up. Oh, true. I forgot they have that. Jealous. I was so sad when they took this out of the of survival in the first game. Because yeah, this makes life so easy. Get in the actual thing. There we go. Do a little inside detail here too. That's only in creative though, sadly. Yeah, Ghost Nat is so good. It was they had it when you were in survival, and then they took it off survival after a little while because people were breaking the game for some reason. I don't know why they didn't want us breaking the game. The theme and continuity, man, always very good. I love the way you use the materials and like connect them really interestingly throughout the entire build. There's like, oh, there's always so much going on, but somehow it all kind of works together, even though it's like these designs are totally different from each other. They always work. They always work in interesting ways. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's fun to just fly around and look at. Yeah, the Ghost Nat is in creative, so you can fly through things in creative if you want to. Ooh. Bet you didn't think of your base like this, did you, Lud? Get a little bit of a unique perspective here of the base. For those in creative, yeah, this is an option if you press C, at least on C on computer. They had it for a little while in survival in the first game, but they removed it. So sad. Yeah, theme and continuity, easy 8, these probably 9, man. Like, it's just fun, as always. It was super fun looking. I'm just like staring at details and getting distracted. You flew into it a little, yeah. It's always fun. My pagoda base, that was one of my favorite things, flying into the pagoda base, because I had like circle rainbow lights. It created this, like, when you were inside the pagoda base, it created this like crazy kaleidoscope effect because of all the lights on the inside. So it's always really interesting to see builds like that. And I actually did that without the Ghost Nat on accident. I figured out a way to get the crow to clip me into the base when I was the handy nat, and found this really funny little trick. Yeah, the X-ray view shows how well done the lights are. Yeah, it really does. As always, lights look amazing. Overall creativity, man, it's always on another level. I'm kind of scared to see what you come up with your like mega cities and stuff. It'll be really interesting to see how much this map gets filled up. You have like so many places you can build too, which is gonna be really fun. If this is the start, where will we end up, Lude? Where do you end up? Welcome in, Sirius. How's it going? Hope you're doing good. I was like, yeah, you put these like right to the edge. This is a really fun little detail. I wish this worked a little bit better like in the first game, because the first game it would make this like slightly interesting door shape, but now they kind of cut this back a little bit, so it changed it a little. Yeah, they have the creative builds in chains with the limit. That's true. That's true. I forgot about that. Guess you guys are going to have to come to the good side. Come to the light side. Excited for the world building? Yeah. As soon as we get the option for you to have no object limit, dude, it's going to go nuts. It's okay. They can chain you a little bit so we can keep up. Yeah, I can't wait for the handy nat as well. I don't know when we're getting it, though. I hope custom comes sooner than later. I really want the handy nat. It would make my build so much faster. I love the mix of using the handy nat to build and then survival to play. Makes it really fun. Survival's the light side. Yeah. I mean, the devs decided because they gave us no build limit. I'm just saying, I think they made it up. Devs nerfing Luda. Exactly. Yeah, man, the potential of this build opens up so many opportunities, too. I know we're kind of off topic with the voting and stuff, or the scoring and stuff, but as you can see, I'm just flying around looking for new details that I missed. Like, the potential is always through the roof. There's so many ideas to work with, so many cool locations to build with. I can see some insanity all over this map for when you get let loose and have unlimited build limit. It'd be very cool. What these look like? Dark. Want your base in here, Lude. This is where. Find a way to clip through this and build inside. This would be epic to build in. You can make such a cool base in one of these. Oh. Thank you for the love, of course, yes. As always, thank you for letting us show off the base, man. I know you gotta get to bed. You can't stay up too late, but very nice. So many ideas. It makes me, I love seeing your guys' bases days before I start building, because I just have a blank canvas right now, and it gives me so many ideas to mess with. But also it's daunting, because now I'm like, I gotta step my game up. Gotta be bigger and better than ever. This tower is gonna be ridiculous. Don't give Grim any ideas, right? He doesn't need help. Can't wait to take some details and lightings into your own builds. Yeah. Yeah, the hanging lights look really nice, serious. Hate getting a new video editor. I have no idea what I'm doing. Look up Daniel Bertoli or whatever. Just like pretty much search any DaVinci Resolve video and he'll come up. And you can look up literally anything from him. Well, 2 bangers in a row. We have Alfredo up next. Gotta start deleting these. Here's the updated save. Should be around 110 days. Oh, I didn't even look. Tour Tuesday All-Star game. Dude, that was like looking at all the grounded 1 builds. Yeah, Raider. More detail. Always more detail. It really, like, there's so much opportunity. Yeah, 114. We're good. Uh-oh. Is this... I don't even know where to start. It seems like a good spot. Right on the airship. Seems like that was the plan. Right one? Perfect. Watch and pass out after Alfredo's. Alfredo, sounds good, man. Thanks for letting us show it off. So many ideas, yeah. So, next up, we have Alfredo, the imposter, with the Mariposa. Double check the name. The Kingdom of Mariposa. Love the name, man. For those of you who have not seen Encanto, the Jewel of Brocala. If you haven't seen Encanto, it's a big theme. It's a very cool little spot. This is going to be really cool. It is an airship, yes. Yeah, let's just get into it. We got these cool airships flying around. Love that Imposta saw that video, that thing I made for, I said Ducky should make, and he was like, you bet. He's going to do it. We're going to beat Ducky to it. Already loving the little arch details, man. This all looks really cool. Love these little arches and like inlaid details. Making your own like custom windows and stuff too. Really nice little entrance. You have multiple airship docks. Oh, I sent a picture of what you should do with your airship to make like a city. And Imposta said, let's go, and took the idea to his own and made his own like airship base, which is really cool. This is a really interesting location. I like that you've like bridged these spaces together, and like this, it feels like the perfect spot for airships to dock and stuff, with this being like angled down. Like, works really well already right off the start. Always looks so nice with like the hot air effect. The propellers are really nicely done too. Very interesting. So many little details. You could wait for processing upstairs. Oh, you even get the new arm, or the new hat first. You guys, so unfair. Gatekeep and all the good stuff. Can't have it till March. To chill up in the waiting room. Very nice. There's just so many combinations, which is so cool. Like, we don't even have that much more building material yet, and it just feels like there's so many new combinations of stuff that you can put together. Love that it's like inside and outside. It's a really cool spot. Get those guys to look right. Very interesting. I hate that you guys are using so much snake roof, because it makes me want to use it so bad. But I can't build even half of what you guys have built with how much I've collected so far. The manuscripts. Oh, these are really cool. This is a good idea for like bookshelves. I had so much fun building my library in Enshrouded that it makes me want to build like a library and stuff like this. But it's probably the best way you can do it to date. I'm starting to like the more rustic look of everything too. The mushroom really like blends a lot better. It feels like it's not a piece that's used on its own anymore. It feels like it blends in with the other blocks a lot better than it did before. Which I think looks really good. Like the little inlay of snake roofs and stuff. The rusty windows look so good. This is phenomenal. This is what I was dying for in the first game. Just like better detailed windows. Many times I see it using the armor stands as characters. Yeah. Let's say, give that one to Luda in the beginning. Dude, what a spot. Sit under the heat lamps. In your hot tub, just chilling. I want a hot tub right now. That sounds amazing. These are awesome little spots you guys have found. Yeah, half wall size window would be really nice. But yeah, I definitely suggest using more armor dummies. It really brings life to a base. It makes it feel like you're not all alone in your little world. Love the foundations with the mushroom materials. They look so much better than I thought. Yeah, it does. Welcome in, Knowledge. How's it going? Yeah, it just blends. It blends so much better. The color palette of like the slight browns with the whites makes it look way more consistent. Even it just matches the stems better. It matches pine cone better. It matches so much better. Oh, this looks really nice too. Yeah, clipping these underneath also looks really good. It's a much more natural look, but it's like you can actually make farms now. Just got off work? Sounds good. You only missed Ludarav space so far. The Monarch Farmers Market. Love it. Another hot tub. Oh, these are going to be so cool. Oh, so many ideas with those single piece. Such a random piece for them to add, but so happy they did. Little dog bed. Very nice impasta. Very nice. Using armor dummy people in my town since the beginning. Yeah, it makes such a big difference. Nice little water well. Very nice little detail. Just keeps going. These are fun little details too. Gonna head out. Hope you have a great rest of the stream and night. Sounds good. Serious. You have a good rest of your night as well. Yeah, so many cool little details now. I don't know how you built all of this with so much detail already. Yeah. The BB. Like the Airbnb. Got the old lady sitting on her chair out front. Just so many combinations. Dude, the pine cone looks so good. Looks so good with the mushroom now. They looked good in the first game, but it just is so much more consistent now. Buzz Speakeasy. Oh. Dude, there's so much happening. I love these little houses. These are going to be great little details for people to pick up in their own little houses. Nice. Got the beer taps and everything, so you can come get your drinks. These are like pool. I thought these were actual pool tables. This is creative. This is all in creative. There's a few extra things that you can't currently have in survival. Not a whole lot, but a couple things. Also, you couldn't make the snake roofs this quickly. Yeah, I literally thought this was a pool table. It's a fun little mix. Like, you can use it as a nice table, but it also looks like a pool table, so it's gonna be great for like game halls and stuff. The little pathways look really nice. For a town that you just like laid out in the air, this looks really cool. Love the little floor details everyone's doing too. Really nice. Like every single building is like totally unique to itself, but you've done a good job making them all feel consistent at the same time. Which is like one thing I'm always a huge fan of. Really hard making villages and towns when they all just kind of look like carbon copies of everything. Is like, this is a really good example of like all the different details and stuff you can do. Got all the people like out here farming all the stuff too.
Just looking, I promise.
I didn't know there was a person down there. Yeah, they've been busy. I mean, it's still a lot of work, but it is a little bit easier in creative. Little faster. Gosh, the whole like farming and stuff, love it. Is that a really good use, man, of the area? Very similar, like Ludarav used a much smaller space that was like, it was a fun interaction with the environment around it. Another really good example. There's so many things in the game right now compared to the first map. Like the first map was very kind of bland. It had a lot of interesting spots, but a lot of it was less built environment. There were less like built assets. There's so many crazy things on the map now to interact with and build around. Like, pick a spot like this. Like, I highly suggest picking a cool spot, because you couldn't tell the same story the way Imposta and Ludarav have without like interacting with the cool things that they have in the game. It makes a really, really big difference when you're trying to build cool things and not having to like come up with everything on just a flat surface. It's just a great way to like interact with things. Makes for really, really unique, like interesting builds, and it also helps you. It takes some of the like decision out of the whole process, which I think makes a big difference too. Makes it a lot easier. Watch your Enshrouded Winter build video like 16 times, so darn good, my guy. Come on, thank you, Joey. I'm really, really happy with that video. It turned out so good. Yeah, these columns look really cool too. I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Hope you're doing good as well. Very cool. Yeah, I love each one of these individual spaces. Started building this area in survival, but the orc scorpion snoring was driving me nuts. I'm so happy to not be building. I loved my lamppost. I really did. But I'm so happy we're not in the lamppost listening to the spider snore all day anymore. I'm very, very happy with that. Yeah, like the structure of this all built into each other too is really nice. Really cool little details. Chip seemed to like your build too. I think so. He's such a like calm personality too. It's always a little hard to tell, because I know he's like, he's not gonna sit there and be like, oh my gosh, that's a winner. Like he's not gonna give that away. He's got so much decision making and stuff. Spring sales are up. Love it. That's such a good idea, man. This looks really good, Alfredo. But it's always kind of hard to gauge like his response, because he's like trying to give a level-headed excitement for everyone, so no one gets like over the top. Oh my gosh, this is the one. He's always excited, but I was really happy. I look for his actual open jaw drop. Yeah, I think so. It's more so the like, he kind of gets a little quiet and he doesn't know what to say is kind of where I see it, where I start seeing him like really, really like an idea. He gets silent, and he's like me. I notice I do the same thing. I just stop talking and I'm like, oh, I'm just looking at all the ideas that I think are incredible. I don't even know what to say about them half the time. Creeping on the roof. Assassin's Creed. Trip is hard to read. Great guy though. Yeah, he is very mellow. He's very, very mellow. Kind of like even mood across everything. Oh, I just want to look at everything, dude. Stealing everyone's ideas. Hey, why do you think I like doing base reviews, man? It gives me ideas. I become a better builder by getting to see all the crazy things you guys come up with. It works so well. Not embarrassed to say it. Not embarrassed to say it. It forces you as like someone who makes content and stuff, and I know where Chip is it's like, okay, I have to build better. I see stuff like this and I'm like, okay, this makes like, it sets the bar, because it's easy to get complacent when you're making content and stuff. So it's like, it makes it really easy to just kind of like not be complacent about your builds and your designs and stuff. You're like, okay, we got to build. I can't be, it's like, it's not a competition by any means, but it's like, okay, I got to step my game up a little bit when I see crazy stuff. Even if it's like stuff like this that's in survival, you see designs and you see the level of detail that it's being pushed, and you're like, well, as the person doing reviews, like, I have to go to that next level. My bases have to get better. Yeah, and then that was just the village also. Like, we're now just getting to the main castle, which is insane too. Wish I could just make it daytime. Glow. Oh, the lighting brings this to life. Holy cow. What is all the flickering lights? Just where we were standing? It's so moody how it like flickers when we move. Like rendering in and out at the same time. That looks really cool. I think this is my favorite Grounded 2 build I've seen. Has a lot of good shape language. Yeah, exactly, Joe. Impasta and Ludarav are really, really good at the storytelling side of things. What's up, Cam? Welcome in. Build is so clean. Yeah, it's enchanting. Yep. No, you guys are 100% right on it. Inspired me to do my Vale water tower. I saw yours and I did copy. I was like, a water tower. Okay, on it. No, that's... I love showing stuff off. I mean, I kept it secret because I didn't want to, like, show off too much. I wanted it to be a surprise for the community as well, but it also is fun to, like, see how we all come up with similar but different ideas. Yeah, this build is very, very cool. Not quite right. Oh, is he like growing lights or something? Interesting. So nice.
We could bottle that up and make a killing.
Daughter's helping you. We have started making videos, so soon I'll share. Sounds good, man. Love to see it. If you have questions about video editing and stuff, let me know. Not an expert or anything, but I know a decent amount. Welcome in a random name. Hope you're doing good as well. 58, she's 26, and she knows a lot I do not. Yeah, it's definitely a process. So much happening. How do we get over there? Yeah, DM me if you have questions. Happy to help. Oh, hatchets. Oh. Wait a second. New tech? Woohoo! Sorry for the spiral staircases. No, my base is going to have a lot of those too. No need to apologize. That's how you get up towers at the end of the day. You and Lude. 2 peas in a pod, man. 2 peas in a freaking pod. Such like cozy, warm interiors. What's the meaning of life? That one, I wish I could tell you. I'm trying to figure that out myself. If you're 58, you probably got more experience than I do. I'm almost 34, so I should be looking to you for answers. Nice little viewing tower or viewing spot. Agree, when you make content, it's another level. It's competing, but it's not. Yeah, it is. You're always trying to one-up yourself. That's how I look at it. I'm not trying to one-up the community. I'm just trying to one-up myself because I'm trying to make content, so it has to be a different level. So many new pictures, too. I need to look at all the pictures. Snick? The sneaky snake. Don't know at 58 or we're screwed. We're all screwed. I don't think there is a meaning. Just have fun with it. Do what you love. Have fun with it. 57, I haven't figured out the meaning of life either. Ah, crap. We're screwed. How did I even get down here, dude? This way? You have a great sense of humor. It's great. Thank you. I try. I always try to remember my sense of humor. Having a 2-year-old, it's really hard to remember to be funny sometimes and not frustrated. Life is testing me right now, reminding me to not be so serious about everything all the time. Sometimes you have to just sit back and enjoy the little things. Kids don't know, we don't know, we're screwed. Oh yeah, 100%. Oh, wait, come through there? The heck? Pasta, this thing is all over the place. It's a freaking maze. We're not even like a quarter of the way through this towers. Amazed you've got built this so fast. The little upside down turrets. Oh, the floaty rounds, nice. Live with 2 2-year-olds is indeed a fun time, yes. High highs and low lows. It's such a maze, dude. It's so good though. Like, I love the just kind of sprawling randomness. It's not like one prescribed path that you're going down. I think it's always fun exploring them as the reviewer. And again, great use of the views and stuff too. What's that I see up there? Looks like another build. Sneak previews. In the secret tech. Think positive and be positive. I think that works best. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. There's too much negativity going on in the world these days to get stuck in it all. Snack previews? Yes. Dude, where the heck are we going, Imposter? This base is ridiculous. Okay, so that's where we just came. Okay, okay. How did you do the upside down turret? I think you just have to place them. I think they just auto, yeah. When you're on a roof, they just auto kind of place. You just don't be snapped. And they just work. A little training. I hope they fix that armor dummy thing. Oh, that's when I get stuck. I'm 100% trying to learn it the hard way. Just got the hang of OBS, so we are getting there. Yeah, I learned it the hard way too. I just kind of figured it out. You get better, just kind of keep messing with it. Oh, it went through, dang it. Thought it was gonna blow up right in it. Dude, the hatches are such an interesting addition too. Such an interesting addition. Cradles? Oh, it's the blueprints for the egg incubation. Okay. That's interesting. You never tried that? We could be buds, support all others. Exactly. Exactly. The negative person for a long time. It's crazy how different things are, even the little things. Yep. 100%. It's amazing. I turned off, I blocked everything political, I blocked everything remotely connecting me to the outer world, and I'm just living with my little bubble with my family now. I'm much happier. I don't need current events, I don't need any of the garbage out there, I'm just living day by day. Now, it's so much more, so much better, so much happier. Trying to spread positivity and fun. Dude, this thing is insane, Pasta. Dude, what the? How am I supposed to? How do I know if I've gotten everything, Pasta? I don't even know where we are. I'm so lost. This is freaking huge. More airships. Get up in those towers somehow. In a grocery store and you're negative, you hear the negative sounds like arguing babies crying, positive and the happy sounds. Exactly. It's all perspective in life, right? It really is. Everything can be against you or everything can be working for you. It's all about how you view it. Yeah. Got a lot of work to do with your massive work warehouse. Getting some new ideas to make is less of a pain. Yeah, 100%. I'm so lost, Pasta. In the best way. In the best way. But like, holy cow. I'll let you know it's pretty much this dock, the main house, and there is something in the works in the Scarecrow too. Okay, we saw the secret snake. The snaky snake deck. Okay, so we go in the middle. Are you wanting me to show off the Scarecrow thing or no? Are we saving that? And like secret stair storage. It's like amazing you guys like do these creative builds and you still have like some of the funny functional stuff that people could use in their builds. You're here to see the king. He's by his study. This thing looks so nice. This is like the best throne they've made so far. Never fail to be speechless. Yeah, exactly. We can? Okay. If I can ever find the rest of the base, but... How do we get to the study? I missed something. Oh, that's it. Panic room in the main house kitchen. Which one's the main house? It all looks the same. It all looks like the main house. Did this? Went through that, didn't we? Can't remember what I've looked at and what I haven't. Okay, we went there. With the throne. Okay. And a few pics on Discord. My 500,000 block mausoleum is so close to being done. $600 solo build, no depot. Holy cow, man. Yeah. Send it. Please do. More build pics in general on the Discord is good. It's all good. Oh, this one yet? It. Okay. Back to the throne room. This is a creative build, Cam. Hence the reason there's so much snake roof. Panic room. Panic room. How do we get into the panic room? Where's the secret? Build is so good. Thank you for viewing. Yeah, definitely. Aha! I was like, the hatches are so hard to see when you're not expecting them. Oh, whoa. That is trippy looking. All the columns, that looks so weird. Gives me ideas too. Dang it, man. So many ideas. Doesn't look like you're panicking in here though. Envious of the snake roofs. I really hope they do increase its drops. Yeah, I hope so too. I really enjoy the process of collecting the snake scales. It's like a really fun little mini game. I really hope that they add more stuff like that. But it's also absolutely painful right now. So painful. Absolute, such a grind. So that was everything, right? We just need the scarecrow, correct? We saw that. We went to both sides. We went up. We went... Did we go down? Yeah, we went down. Okay. Now we gotta figure out how to get over to the scarecrow. Such a good dad, yeah. It's like... It actually makes like a fun process out of farming the materials. There just needs to be 12 of them. Oh, that's so funny. You connected these all together too. Very cool. Now you just have to make this into like a big suspension bridge or something. It'd be really hard, but it would look so cool. Please don't fall now. Love the little pumpkin entrance. Grab some lint while you're up there. Exactly. One thing I'm sad about, I can't go to other worlds and bring my inventory back with me. Like in Enshrouded. Yeah, these like multi-layered archways look really cool. Under construction. Ooh. Very nice. Okay. Get all these guys to look right. There we go. Very nice. This armor looks really cool. I wish I liked the effect of this armor better because it looks really cool. The snake armor is freaking awesome, but this, like, the rusty circlet whole thing, the like Loki crown looks so cool. This is gonna be really interesting, dude. The like red lighting and stuff already looks really nice. Little cult under construction. I love it, man. This is gonna be fun. Very cool. I'm glad to be able to watch tonight. More work has been in the way of being able to watch. Pasta, this is amazing. I feel like I've seen your builds grow. Yeah, they just get better and better. What? Oh, there's the pumpkins. Interesting. The gourd is good. The gourd cult. Oh, I love it. That's funny. The gourd. All hail the gourd. They fixed the bug where the dummies reset to default when you load in. It seems like that is fixed. The only issue is that you have to, when you load in, the armor is positioned as if they're just standing, and the armor dummy is placed how you position it. So it's got a different glitch now. Yeah, those ones all look normal. But yeah, you can see it. They kind of like are like. See how the armor is like floating over them? This guy's chest plate is in his head, and then when you look at it, they change back for some reason. Other than that, it's working. Wanted to build in here, but the earwigs were a big nope. Yeah, especially the org earwigs. They're not even regular ones. The hollowed ones. Love it. This is going to be really cool, man, when that gets filled out. Very interesting. So you guys can see this from the outside too. Very cool. Yeah, I love that like little towers sitting out on the edges and stuff. Feels very wizard tower like. Like its own airship dock and stuff too. A lot of really cool things, man. As always. Very like whimsical and magic. Got over your fear of the earwigs, you used to run away, now you've killed 50 of them. They're still a pain. They're an absolute pain to kill still, but this is all creative. This is creative. Very cool, man. Well, as always, first impressions. Hard to knock you on this one. This is really freaking epic. This is I'll stick with 9s for now, just because I don't want to give out 10s and then you guys outdo yourselves again, and then I don't know what to grade you anymore. But I love the location, like the use of the whole airship locations and stuff built into where these open glass places are freaking awesome. The location is super fun. You've connected it so well with the like pre-built environment in the game, which is freaking epic. The layouts and interiors, as always, I mean, there's some spots you're still working on, of course, since this is always an in-progress build, but the storytelling, the world-building type stuff is, like, it's always top level with you guys. I love the use of, like, the village, the whole entire thing. Like, building into this stuff to, like, build into the story works so well. It's like even that they're talking about like the price of sprigs has gone up and stuff, so they're like using it as a farming area as part of the greenhouse, which is freaking cool. It really does feel like a shrunk civilization, which I think is like such a good fit for Grounded. Like all the different materials look so good, the layout of the little village and like how you placed everything. It all works really well, man. Give you an 8 out of 10 since you're still working on it, and I know you have so many ideas coming out. I'm excited to see. The materials and exterior are freaking awesome. You've done like everything that I love. Like every building is slightly different. They're using different shapes and stuff, but it has like some small repeating type patterns, like the way you use the roofs and the different materials throughout each one, but they have like totally different shapes. Like it's everything I try to preach. At the like when I'm trying to talk about building out like villages and stuff, there's like finding a theme between the builds, but each one has kind of its own unique design and story and stuff. Like it works so well. Freaking love all the uses of materials. Like it's like consistent. It's consistent with the material choices, but then you've like come up with new ideas for like everything. Everything has a different roof design. Everything has a different little shape to it. You have your custom windows. Like you've gone to a great level of detail in all of this. And like the little pieces like docking an airship and stuff. Freaking awesome. Like jets. Like this one has jets instead of propellers. The things you can only see with the handy net. Love it. Freaking awesome, man. Give you a 9 out of 10 on the exterior. I don't really know how you would one-up it, other than we get more materials, because you've done a great job messing with them. The structural side of it, again, looks really good. Everything like fits. Everything feels really sturdy and strong. It's not just like one little floating platform. You've got hand railings. You've got structural pieces. You have the columns. You made these really nice, like really heavy towers, but also like lightened up the tops and stuff, so they feel like they work really well. It all works really, really well. Can't knock you on any of the structural stuff. Even just like using another side of structure is using the pre-built environment, using the assets that the devs give us as part of the structure. So using them as stairs, building onto them to build an airship dock, like in an open bay. Like it is really, really creative, as always. Looks really, really good. The functionality, as I always say, creative's tough to do, but I do love, especially like in you and Ludarav, like some of the things you guys come up with still, like the love the like under stair storage area, like the goofy little small additions that like they did not need to happen, but stuff like this gives people like how do you use extra space really well. Even though you're not using the chests, it just like creates really nice little functional looking spaces. The like panic room, hidden away, creating your own like cabinetry and stuff all looks really, really good. So for a base that is not in survival and doesn't need to be functional, it still works functionally. Spaces still have room where you could add your own storage. You could do more chests and less story in there. Even like cool little designs here for like window designs. It gives a lot of like interesting ideas for the for functional bases as well. Really good. Oh, I didn't even notice that this is where these guys came out. We saw those when we were down there. Very interesting. Yeah, it just works, man. Very, very good. The theme and continuity, I think this is where like you've knocked it out of the park the most. It's really difficult to build villages like this and have each building feel unique and individual, but also fit in a larger theme. So I think you've like, this is like my favorite part of how you've done this whole village, is that you utilize the space really well, and each building is just completely unique to the one next to it. But you have just enough repeating themes between each building and materials that they all fit really, really well together in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, it just works really, really well. I'd probably have to give you the 10. If I was going to give out like 110 a build, like your theme and continuity is where I really think this build comes together. It works. Everything fits, but everything's unique at the same time. Even towers aren't like replicas of each other, but they all have that overarching theme, which I think works really, really well. Creativity, man, you've knocked it out of the park. Don't think I need to even tell you that. It's really cool. The location's awesome. Materials, the story behind the whole thing, freaking awesome. People are going to have so many ideas from this. Even people that just want to build a small base, like they don't want to build these mega bases. Like, this is such a well laid out little base. Like each little space you could use, and it could function in like 100 different ways. It doesn't have to be a bar, but it's a really good design of just small buildings. I think you've just knocked it out of the park, man. As always. Very, very cool. And the potential is still like, even if you're done with it, then you're not going to move forward. Like, you've given yourself enough room that you could expand this thing out so far. There's so much room you could build up on the top of these things with this location. A lot of the potential comes down to the location selected. There's just so many little ways you could add. You could keep building like stuff down to here and like build like tiers and layers in the city and village. You can build your village all the way down into these little areas and through those spots. You could build more village down there and start taking advantage of like the hanging plants and stuff. I could see the village, like, eventually, if we get enough build space, of course, or a build limit, like, going all the way out around those things. Like, you could start using the wires and stuff. You could build out all over this and start using this weird space as well. And just, it's a really interesting location overall. Of course, assuming you don't ever actually can't in creative, but the lime tree could be interesting too if you're building in survival. Could be really, really interesting. Potentially a post-apocalyptic city if growing the lemon tree was an idea I was thinking about. Yeah, I think you messed with that. I think you were telling me about that. That could be a really interesting idea. We were talking about like the theme of someone like trying to destroy the city by growing the lime tree. Could be really interesting. Could be really, really cool. Such a tiny, adorable village. Yeah. And it's so big. It's like tiny but big. It's sprawling in the best ways. Connects it really well. I mean, you could even build out onto the chair like we were talking about. You have so much room to just keep expanding. It'd be a really, really cool build you work on for 2 years and just keep going crazy. Build all the way to the other side as well. And there's just so much room. Build in between these and build stuff out there. A lot of potential. A lot of potential. Love watching these streams. Alfredo, it's outstanding. Need this kind of inspiration. Yeah, it really is. YouTube has crashed. Let's double check. It still says viewers on it, but thank you for mentioning. Don't know what happened? Okay. Looks like everything's still going. Yeah, okay. It's working. I think we're good. YouTube's fine? Okay, good. I was worried with all the issues they were having, so just wanted to make sure. I think we're good. But yeah, man. Another awesome build, dude. But yeah, if anything does go wrong with YouTube, let me know. It's very possible they were dealing with issues, so I was hesitant about streaming tonight because I didn't want everyone watching to not be able to watch on YouTube. Yeah, man. Very, very cool. I'm really excited to see where this one keeps going. Next level build for sure. The roof designs are incredible. For sure, Kraken. Very cool. All right. Let me double check the map. Ah, yes. Off-grid. Thank you for sending the floating off-grid technique as well. Appreciate it. Had a message earlier. Want to make sure I get add building wide. Next up, we have Slum. Very amazing base. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, Slum. There's a lot of really cool ideas for big bases, little bases. That's what I love seeing about the, like, full-on villages and stuff. Oh, my glasses get dirty. I hate glasses. It's the worst thing. Don't go blind. Not worth it. I'll watch it after stream, Ducky. Not during, though. Yours feels flat now? No, that's also creative, dude. Don't overthink it. Oh, jeez. Jumped off. They are indeed the worst, yeah. Are only slightly better, yeah. I feel like I need to get some contacts, but...
This counts as research, right?
Pine cones. Oh, I like how you marked them all out. That's smart. Especially because the scanner only works like half the time. Half the time when you like bring up the scanner, it's like, here's where everything is. And then it's like, and then you get over there and it's like, oh, but it's not spawned in. That's just where it was. I just wanted to make sure you didn't forget. So yeah, next up we have Slum. They are here in chat as well. Base is located right down on the podium of the statue as well. We've seen some cool bases down here. Gotta love it. Would have been horrifying. Spawn me in right when we get attacked. Already love this little design here. This is really cool. Yeah, Slum, don't compare yourself to creative builds at the same time. Like, those ones are crazy because they have nothing but build time. They don't have to collect and do anything. I found a new spot in a new area to build. Now I can't decide where I want to build. Dude, it was the hardest decision, was deciding. Okay. Get into it. Okay, we got a nice little bedroom here. Can't wait till we get curved walls so we can build curves out on everything. But I like the little hexagon type designs. Those work. I was like, why am I so fast? I haven't been wearing my aphid slippers. I'm so quick with them. Imagine these bases in a month or so after Playgrounds drops. Yeah, new assets, so much fun. So many cool things to do.
But I worry about my mineral intake.
Good use of the little tables and stuff. Just so fast. Love this little walkway. This looks really nice. How long is this? Did you build this bridge out like all the way? Plan on bridges to new houses, but I haven't gotten there yet. Dude, how far does this go? Holy cow. Jealous of the speed creator builders can build. Building a full medieval village and it takes so long. Yeah, definitely does. There's a really cool walkway though. I like it. Yeah, the coloring's really nice. Yeah, I already like that you have like different themes and stuff like being copied from other areas to keep it going. Holy cow, dude, no wonder. Say it's flat, like you spent so much time just building out platforms and stuff, dude. This is insane. Stuff is expensive. Did you actually collect all this lint, dude? Holy crap. This is insane. This is so much burr. Holy cow. Yeah, I like that you lit these differently too, as well. It looks nice. Playing Kingdom Come Deliverance a bit and been getting some really good ideas. Yeah, definitely. So much burr flooring. I feel inadequate. I don't even have anywhere close to that much. Nice little storage spot, crafting area, chest area. You even have so many chests already too. Ooh, let's like that. 175 days in since the update? Oh, you're kicking my butt, that's for sure. So much materials gathered already. Little upstairs area. I like that you have this like repeating little pattern as well. It's like coming up with a cool idea like this, being like finding something you like and then finding cool little ways to repeat it on different scales, I think works really well. Great little idea. Yeah, the lighting's really nice. These things are the bane of my existence right now. Nice little like chandelier type design as well. I like the use of the stem doorways as well in between that for like structure. The leaf outcrop, yeah, it looks really nice. It's a freaking walkway, dude. That like green looks so good. I love that I don't know why no other lights in the game actually render in, but the fact that the green little lights on these arches renders in the whole way, you can see how far this thing goes. This is insane. Going for hanging bridges, yeah, really cool. Really, really cool. It almost gives that, like, light speed effect, seeing it. Fun little unintended thing. And then more crafting area downstairs. Holy cow. Yeah, you've been processing like crazy, dude. Very nice.
Nothing like H2O.
Hey, Frostbit, welcome in. Hope you're doing good. Dude, even all the materials you need for all this, like, holy cow, you're a farming machine. There's so much material. I don't think we've seen anyone have as much processing stuff in their base as this. This is a lot of effort. Love the little running down area as well. Oh, your mushroom collection. Yeah, it is trippy. You're gonna have bridges everywhere, dude. Holy cow. Oh, yeah. Looks even cooler from the outside. This is an interesting little design detail. Very interesting, man. Keep forgetting to press buttons. Bridge led to my first base that I destroyed. My ideas from the bridges came from that. Nice. It's always nice using an idea, not just like sacrificing it and moving on, but like getting something positive out of a build. Daytime too. Someone using that green light from the pumpkin arches to make something cool like racetracks for the buggies. Yeah, we do get racing eventually too. It's the grounded version of Satisfactory. Seriously. So much production. This is survival, yeah. This is Slum. They're on YouTube right now if you're on there and you want to ask them things as well. Keep wanting to get into the Handy Nap, but we don't have it. Very interesting. Yeah, that's so much material collection. Insane. Sorry, just... So many plans, but it's taking so long, a long time, and you're doing it solo. Yeah. Yeah, as a solo builder and survival player as well, I fully understand that struggle. It is a grind. I would say one perspective that's really good to have on it is you're building for the long term. You're not building like creative. So Alfredo and Ludarav, their bases are freaking phenomenal and they're insane, but they're building to get ideas out of their head at the end of the day and have fun with it. Like that's where they're having fun with it. And so if you're playing in survival, I like to think of it as like a more completionist mindset. So my goal is always like, it's not about what I have built right now. It's where is this going in the long run? And I know like your question was like, how can you build more? How can you like add on to this base? And that's the focus, I think, in the long run. Start thinking of, because I think you have a lot of really interesting ideas. You obviously have no problem like grinding the materials, like processing everything. You have a really good like kind of functional base with like a warehouse design that is going to allow you, as we get more materials, as we get more of the map and stuff, like every time we get more of the map, we get more farming resources. So like having all the processing is a really good place to start. Especially like your level is on a different level. This is expensive as it's all hell. It's freaking crazy. But expansion is how I like to think of it. I like seeing, for me, it was like the best thing. If you haven't checked out my my sandbox build castle city build tour, that build took me 2 years in survival. You could definitely do it faster than that, but the focus on there was like, how can I keep adding to this? How can I keep building interesting ideas into one. It started as just a castle, then it went to a castle and a cathedral, then there was housing districts, then there was a temple, then there was a bathhouse, then there was a market district, and it was like, how can I add new ways to utilize the different things in the game? So whether it's the things that developers have in the world for us to interact with, building around the things, or how can I show off, like I think my main focus was, how do I show off this one cool decor piece? So like, I think my favorite example of what we did, and I don't think we don't have hot tubs in survival yet, do we? It's only in creative, if I'm not mistaken. But stuff we will get like that. Hot tubs are a great example. Of course, we don't have them right now, but I loved focusing on, okay, how can I use hot tubs as an idea to create a build around? So for me, it was like, here's a cool area, and I had like bathhouse vibes. So it was using hot tubs as an interesting way to create a building around, essentially. Something you could focus on next, because I think like what you have works really well. It's really functional. You're messing with the different materials, like you have an interesting little layout. I like that you're using the materials to like create divides in these different things visually. The bridges are super creative and unique in their own right. Like that is its own freaking project. Like that's an absolutely insane project to be undertaking at the same time. But now it's like you have this great functional base to build out from and use as like a great like central location to build out from, and you can keep adding details and stuff. But if you're trying to like, what do you add, how do you make more builds, it's how do you make like a greenhouse. We saw ages ago a build right here actually that was a big greenhouse build. So it's like, how could you make these into a different part of the base? Part of me wanted the actual exterior to feel alive. That's why there's so many faces. Yeah, no, I think that's good. I don't have any comments like towards it not looking good. I think it's a really good start to the whole thing. You have a lot of different interesting little design pieces. The windows are fun. They're all different windows. You have like custom windows. But now, like if you're looking to add things, it's how do you make this feel like part of the build and not just like rows of planters and not just rows of mushrooms, but it's like, how could you design a base or a structure of some kind around those so they start feeling like their own design in themselves? And that's how I would start thinking of them. You can do a greenhouse for the hydroponic things. You can do a greenhouse for the patches, the garden patches, and sort of start thinking structurally instead of just easy to farm. How do you start adding details? Like you've kind of started building out some stuff here to sort of enclose it, but now like how do you start building structure over this? This has become a really big part of the base. Do you rethink where they're located to allow you to sort of design them more, where it becomes like they're very functional right now? I'm always trying to think when I'm expanding my bases, when I'm adding, like there's always got to be a reason why a space is what it is, or else it gets really hard to design. So it's like having some concept of like, okay, I want to show off a garden patch. Look up pictures of greenhouses, look up pictures of like organic builds, organic type designs. How can you sort of implement structure into these? How could you kind of make more interesting spaces using these? Because these are really cool. Like a great one to check out was our last build tour Tuesday we did up on top of the hot dog cart. They had sort of, it's not as much structure necessarily, but they took the garden patches and they clipped them into the ground and then placed, so essentially being move, not copy. So it'd be very similar to what you have, but like take something like this and then, of course, it's not going to be super easy to place. If you place them like this, when you don't have foundations on the sides, you can then start covering these. And they become a slightly different use of those. And so it's like, how can you push these to be part of the design? If you find a specific decor piece that you really like, whether it's, of course, harder that we don't have tons of stuff right now, but how do you create a cool buggy house? How do you create like we've seen basketball stadiums, we've seen archery ranges, we've seen diving pads, like armories. Start thinking of how you show the pieces off in the game. That tends to be how like I push my ideas forward. Is I'm like, okay, well I need a place where I can store all the armor. So add an armory of some kind, because eventually, especially when you're playing really, really long term in survival bases, it becomes about how do you have one, like my base is always, how do you have one of every single thing in the game shown off? And oftentimes it's not just one of them, but how do I show off every armor set and have room to add all the armor sets we're going to get in the future too? How do you create like water locations to show off the water, the dew collectors? And so it takes the like slightly functional side of it, but then it turns it into like a reason to design bigger and around it. Sometimes it can be a little inefficient, but it helps expansion a lot, because like you picked a space that is like prime for expansion at the end of the day. You can build all the way around this thing, all the way around that. Like I had always thought that building a city through this whole thing, and maybe in the long run, that's what we do when we get more and more stuff. We start like a mega city build after we build this tower. Like you have all these interesting like mazes down here. Like how do you start connecting city designs? Very similar. Start using like what Alfredo had done with his village. Like how do you start designing like a village back here or something? Could be an interesting idea. It's just kind of like, I always try to focus on how do you show off each individual piece in the game. Because as a survival builder, it's more about building a lot of little small things and watching it kind of compound and grow over time, instead of like, I want more, because it just takes time. You have to collect. It's like a different level. So it's just adding a little space, making building a little bit easier, having space to show off each individual thing. And it kind of like, it compounds over time, and you go from one building like this to all of a sudden you have a kingdom at the end of the day. And it's little by little. What you came in on is the parts I'm going to expand out. Everything you're saying, I plan on expanding them out to the left or right. Yeah, so I think you're on the right track, 100%. So now it's just like picking areas. If it's spinners, you don't necessarily have to take all your functional spinners out of your actual base, but how do you make like a tailor's, like if you're building a village, there's a blacksmith. So we have it's always about like building around one thing. So we have a smithing station, and we have furnaces and stuff. So how do you make like a house for a smith? And how do you make a house for a tailor? How do you make a house for like a kitchen or a place to make like cook food and stuff? There's so many different things. Places where people sleep, and maybe you have some more simple houses and stuff that are just like, I mean, Imposta had a lot of houses that are just sort of places for people to sleep, and it's just a house. And then some of them are showing off the pieces, and we're gonna get so much more functional pieces over time that as you keep building and as you're gathering, we'll get more and more updates. Early access is kind of just sticking with the grind for a while as we get more and more, and you get more content, you get more ideas, you get a new build piece, and you're like, well, now I want a pumpkin building, and I want a mushroom building, I want a pine thing. You can also do like, if you're building these out as like a village or like a city, there's the pine cone district or the pine district, there's the mushroom district, the pumpkin district, and like how you can split up those things and create interesting designs with all the different materials and show off each individual one. Which is very similar to how like I'll be expanding mine out as well. There'll be different districts, there'll be different levels to it. Utilize the interesting space and just kind of build out from where you have, where you've kind of picked your location, because there's a lot of cool things you could build out in all these different directions. Things growing and compounding is the perfect way to describe survival builds. It's an evolution. Yeah, new ideas being added all the time. Yeah, definitely. And you have to take it one build at a time and just finish a house, and then that house inspires another idea, and it just keeps going. But just like the longer you stick with it, the crazier it gets. But in the beginning, when you're like, you have one building and an insane massive bridge, it's like there's so much space. It's almost overwhelming how much space you have sometimes. So I definitely understand that. It's hard to look at the blank canvas and know what to do with it, but that is how I think through like city building, mega building in survival. Is it's just like one idea after another. They each spawn more ideas. You keep watching these streams as well. You'll get ideas and you'll be like, oh my gosh, that's part of my city now. Like whatever Imposta did, I'm gonna utilize that idea. He inspired a new village to design around. Then you design like a park district. Another one, Alfredo is another one that's good to look at in our previous live streams for Tour Tuesday. He did this like Japanese pagoda build with this insane, like absolutely insane garden area. And so like look at where do you want to do that? And so part of that is like if you build up to the top and take a screenshot is something I kind of like to do. If you build really high up on just a cheap platform or even go to the top of the area there, take a screenshot and just start print it out and start boxing it out, or take it into Photoshop or Paint, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be pretty, but start boxing out like this area could be this district, that area could be another district, this area could be another. Like you could have farming side of the village over here, you could have housing over here. Like just kind of have to think of like how you can utilize the pieces we have and just keep pushing and pushing. But you'll get there. It just takes time. What's up, Dylan? Welcome in. Try to Build was a game inside a game. It was great. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Sounds like a great community build project. Yeah, you definitely could. If you bring people on, if you get on the Discord for everyone that is new here as well. You want people to build with, there's always people in the Discord. Probably looking for community builds and stuff, people to join and hang out, make friends. It's a great place. We have like 600 something people in there now. It's a great place. Show off, even if you just want to keep building by yourself, post your ideas there and ask people for ideas. Like we're all always looking to push each other's builds at the end of the day. So it's a great way to like, it's a great way to get ideas if you're stuck and you don't know what to do with something. Like it's awesome having people looking at bases like this. We all push each other to like that next level. So it's a great place to be for all of that. Made to experiment. The white is so dominant that I didn't think I could tint with a color. Additional lights make sense. Yeah, lights make a huge difference. Welcome in, Sniper. How's it going? Taking a break from the Butterfly Kingdom? Can't blame you. That thing is massive. Absolutely massive. Find the color green or purple and have the brightness all the way up, but lower saturation depending on, yeah. I'm in JRab. Yeah, that'd be an interesting idea as well. There's so many things, and like we're all figuring out how to break building as well. So like the more you're part of the community, the more you see interesting takes on how to do something that you may have never thought of at the end of the day. So it's a really good place to be. Yeah, we'll get into the grading of it. The first impressions, I think there's a lot of potential of it. Of course, you're in the beginning of survival building, so it's like it always feels like there's just endless amounts. But I think you're like 7 on first impressions. I think like you have a lot of interesting ideas. You have picked a great base location for expansion. At the end of the day, the bridge is going to be freaking ridiculous. I'm amazed that you've collected that much burr and stuff. Like your grind has been grinding. It's always impressive to see how much people grind. I always feel like I'm grinding for materials, and then someone like this is like, you're not grinding hard enough. Every time. The layout and interior, I think is another place you could potentially start to expand the way you think. I get stuck in this a lot. I build really big, cool exterior structures with a lot of things going on, and then I get stuck in how do I lay them out. So they end up in big rooms. I think you're starting to head in the right direction by like dividing the spaces up more so, utilizing some of these little spaces, but also think about it in a larger way that it isn't just a replication of the lower area to the upper area. How can you start dividing this in terms of like interior design? How do you start making more individual rooms in these areas could be interesting as well. Not that you like have to start changing things or anything. But that's one thing I always get stuck in is I end up with these big open spaces, and it always is like, how am I detailing this? So start thinking of maybe how you divide these rooms up, especially as you add other builds and stuff. How do you start dividing the rooms up a little bit more so they're not just big expansive spaces that are always, it's really hard to fill. It's not necessarily like a you thing. It's just like in general, it is always difficult to fill large open spaces. And so like Ludarav and Imposta are great. They divide rooms up really small. There's not just big open spaces to fill in stuff. So it's like, it's always something to think about. Like everyone can improve at when we're building on a large scale, is start thinking how spaces are divided. I really like what you've done here, where you like took a step in. This is always a really good way of doing it, like taking a step in, reduce the size of a space. But now, how do you keep adding detail to this is nice to think about. How do you add things to the wall? The lighting of your base looks great. Like it's already looking really good. It looks great at night and stuff. The exteriors starting to work well is at the same time, and it's just that the hardest thing is interiors, especially for me. Is like with my architectural background, is I'm always interested in exterior details, and then the inside always gets left for last. So I fall into that trap myself, where it's always really difficult to design interior areas. But I'm always thinking, what is this space for? How can I split it up? Because like you'd have throne rooms and stuff, but start thinking of like how you can dip this level. Like you could bring the inner level down a level. If you look up throne rooms and stuff as well, is one thing to think of. If you don't have a Pinterest, highly suggest Pinterest. Look up castle designs, look up layouts of castles, look up whatever it is you're building. It doesn't have to be castles. That's just the easiest example. How are they divided up? How are those spaces utilized? And it can help kind of create more realistic details in it. Oftentimes, like a throne room like this, you would see the people sitting at the tables are down a level. And that doesn't mean you necessarily have to move everything down a level, but you have like an extra half block here. So you could dip down with stairs or with roofs. You could dip down the center part so that the throne is now sitting up a level. So it kind of creates that hierarchy that a lot of like throne rooms would have. And that is like my biggest suggestion is always like, how do you start detailing things to be more realistic? Even though we're building in a game that is not realistic in any way, shape, or form, we're shrunken down, we're building with bugs and stuff. But the more realistic you can think of how a space is laid out and used in real life, the more kind of intricate and interesting your builds become overall in the long run. The structural side of it, I think, is awesome. You have a lot of good structural stuff working out for you. The bridges and stuff specifically, that you're utilizing the structure really well. You can't really knock it, but that could be another detail, is like, how do you start adding a little more depth to some of these so it's not just a floor? Because that's always the hardest thing in this game, is the pieces are kind of one wall, one floor. Start thinking of how you push and pull those a little bit more. Especially for structure and materials. Sorry, I skipped materials. I think you're doing a good job where you're starting to do that here. But also think like you can build outwards from these walls too to add more detail to them, and that it's void space essentially. It doesn't have to be something that like literally shows on the inside, but if you build walls thicker, it allows you to kind of carve. You can start using arches. You can start using the half and quarter walls, I think, is where a lot of the detail really starts to come to life. When you add details like this where things start bumping out, and even if it doesn't show on the inside, it starts adding a ton of detail to like these bigger buildings. When you build on a bigger scale, it opens up this window of allowing you to use tons of detail on a completely different level, where I think you've done a good job with the materials. But that's one thing you could think about, is start messing with quarter triangles and the quarter walls and the half vertical walls is like extension pieces, so you can build out a little bit and then it adds depth to the whole thing. It'll open up a whole new realm of possibilities when you start adding to those details, because then you get effects like this where you can do double thick sort of windows like this. But if this is on the outside, it allows you to add more depth, so you don't end up with walls that are like big flat expanses. 'Cause it's always hard to make a big wall not feel like a big wall, and that's always my goal. Is in castles. Castles typically are built with like thick, heavy walls. Is one example I always like to use. So start thinking in more of depth and stuff. Post a throne room I'm working on as an idea. Yeah, definitely. And that's why the Discord is great. But like Ludarav's build, it was like a lot of it is just, it's not functional stuff on the inside, but the detail comes in adding the weird little quarter and half walls and stuff that add huge amounts of depth to it and stuff. And you could start like thinking of this as thicker here, adding more supports to some of these spaces where you start to, it looks like you have, and you said these were like for buggies and stuff, but how do you make all that kind of detail add into everything? How do you add details to these curved arches? Can be used for windows, but they can also be used for supports and stuff to kind of ease transitions between these kind of spaces as well. You can start using quarter triangles to like kind of block these in a little bit, and just every little shape you add just adds huge amounts of details. And it very quickly, quarter triangles, just little quarter triangles, start adding more walls in, quarter triangles here, vertical half walls and stuff. Same thing, like doing details like this, but just on the outside, and then adding things on the inside of those. Just, it really opens up a lot of possibilities the more you mess with it, but it takes a lot of time to get good at building with those. Yeah, I can show the chest room. 175 days since the update. Didn't sleep a good majority of that. I guess around a week's worth of time. Yeah, man. Definitely. Yeah, you got the functional stuff. Your function is done really well. I think that's where like you're obviously have it work. Everything's located in the right kind of vicinity of everything else. So it all works really well. But now it's like taking up just one little detail. I always think like function is something I always think about really early on in a build. But then how do I make the functional pieces look really interesting at the same time? So how do you have tons of room in here? And you definitely have more room that you could start spreading these chests out. So maybe think about turning them sideways and having them take up a little more space is something too. Could start to fill some of these spaces, because like, yeah, filling big spaces is always really difficult. It's always really hard. It's like you have the start of it, but like just more. It's always more. It always feels bad to say it, but more is always the option typically. Even like adding little details here and like fins and stuff. Start thinking of how you could fill in these with quarter triangles and all that. Build the chest like that, preparing for more updates. Yeah. And that's the thing, like I always think when I'm building a chest area, I want one chest for every single item in the game. So like that's my end goal when I'm building a chest room is I want one chest for every single item in the game that I can fill up and max out. And that is another goal I have in survival, is collecting literally everything. Not just the stuff I use, but mints and spicy cha-chas and all the random thing, gnat fuzz, every little thing. Because who knows, in the next update, the material we might need more than anything is woolly aphid fur. Like the fuzzy woolly aphid stuff. So it's like, there's so many things that you may need in the long run in survival. That also fills time, is like farming materials and finding chests and making more space for them as well. Yeah, form and function at the same time. That's when builds really, really start to get exciting. Janky Skyway took you forever. Can't imagine how much time it spent. Yeah, and the amount of burr you've collected is freaking insane. Like, so insane. You got the grind. Now you just got to keep grinding on your base as you do the materials, and take little breaks, grind materials, then come back, work on a little design, then go grab more materials when you need a break. And it's like, that's how I keep myself going at the end of the day, is I like keep pushing. Farm as much as I can to take a break from building. Uh-oh. Getting attacked. I'm going photo mode so I don't get attacked. Those are always something I like to think about, but I think structurally it works well. The materials and exterior, I think you're on the right direction with everything. I like that you've done the materials here, the switch up of the structure as well. And you're headed on the right path with all of that stuff, but it's just like, now start thinking, how do these supports start kind of linking into this? How can you create colonnades between these and then have interesting designs underneath them as well? You know, 3,000 to 4,000 bird just for the walkway? Yeah, that's insane. That's so much farming. The theme and continuity, I think you're headed in the right direction for sure. I think they just like pick a theme for each area as you expand and test new ideas and make each area a different playground, essentially, is how I like to think about it. Really wish we could still put the chest on the wall like we briefly could in Grounded 1. We'll find different things. You're the opposite. Decorate an interior like a pro, but depth on the outside kills me. Yeah, and we always struggle with different things. Some people are interiors and they're experts at it, and some people are really good at the exteriors, and it's like we all have places we end up growing and getting better at. Weed stem dupe? Yeah, there is. I wish it duped better items, though. I want to dupe lint or something useful. I don't use enough stem. But your creativity, I think you're heading in the right direction. I love that you're like committing to these huge projects and stuff. Like, these are time consuming, but we also have all the way through summer and on before we're ever getting 1.0. We got a long ways to go. So like finding fun projects that keep you excited to play, I think is what's fun about it at the end of the day. How do you keep challenging yourself to do new designs and stuff? And your creativity is really interesting. The bridge, again, really creative and interesting. There's a lot of potential with it. Keep messing with like these creative things. I'd love to see this pattern on smaller scales, like all over this place. Again, like you did a really interesting work with it here, like find different ways to like continue it through multiple floors. Start messing with like, you can do that, a similar design on like walls and stuff as well. So you can create little, instead of like windows like this, start using quarter triangles to like make these interesting designs for the windows as well. You can do them like star designs for the doorways and stuff. There's a lot of interesting ways you can kind of mess with what you've started with your little creative ideas. And potential, I think you're headed in the right direction. Like you picked a spot where you can grow. You can grow for a really, 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 really long time. So just don't get discouraged from getting stuck. We all hit builder's blocks as well from time to time. So just keep sticking with it. Yeah, even like using the hatches as walls. Like you have a lot of creative ideas where we're gonna start finding really fun ways to start messing with these things. And I think you're already testing interesting ideas, so you have a lot of good ideas. Just let them flow, and when something sticks, once you find something you like, just like keep going with it and expand it and do more of it. I always think like double down when you find an interesting design idea. Wanted to do so bad, but I love the idea of the grind. Yeah, and that's why survival works. Like there's nothing wrong with grinding. If you enjoy the grind, like stick with it and just take the small wins. Like in survival building, take the small wins, be excited that it's coming together, that little things get finished. Big projects take time, so it's one room at a time, it's one wall at a time, it's one little design at a time, and it keeps going forever, but it gets really fun. Especially once that one thing works out and the next idea comes, then you see something in a tour, then the new idea comes, and like just let it run wild. Check out their videos. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's build toured by Timber. Oh, Niles. Yeah, Niles' base was insane. He was one of the first. Nile is on. Check out the base tour videos on my channel. We did a base tour of his, like great detail, inside and outside. Really, really good. Just made a drawbridge with the hashes, worked well. Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah, and watch other YouTubers as well, not just me. We're doing a lot of streams, but I haven't done a lot of build content necessarily, so because we're just getting going on a lot of our stuff. But yeah, don't be afraid to check out other builds. Check out the other. That's why we do the base tours, is to give inspiration and cool stuff for people to check out. You know, always check out. We've done, I don't know, 15, 20 of these tour streams. No, watch Timber. Thank you. But yeah, we've done a lot of these tour streams, so check out those if you get stuck on ideas and you need new ideas. And we're only getting new cool ideas as well. Like it's only getting better at the end of the day. Every time we do another one of these streams, we get some new crazy tech that someone comes up with that no one ever thought of. Yeah, Niles base does a really good combination of off-grid and not off-grid. Picks a really cool location. A lot of cool stuff. All right. That was only our third base. We're going a little slow tonight. Lots of talking. Okay, next we have Raider. Yeah, Butterfly Kingdom. There's a lot of really... We all build totally different from each other, I think, is what's so fun. YouTube hates me every time I look into grounded anything. It always the same ones and never smaller people. Yeah. It'll come together. There's not a ton of builder content at the end of the day. You building tech is my... Yep. Love the building system. Yep. Still missing so much interior design. I've been so focused on the structure and layout. Yeah, no worries. In process is fine. In process is fine. So another base here. This one's more of a village design. So another one that would be great, Slumber, for you to take a look at, take a peek at of how you can build out a village. It's built here right next to the garden wall. Seems like a cool location. Already love, like, this is such a cool design for, like, infilling these Raider. Really cool idea. And, like, this is, when I'm talking about depth and stuff, like, this is a really good example of, like, how to inlay depth in sort of simple structures. You can very easily just build a flat wall here, but adding a little bit more depth looks really good. Adding, like, new, interesting designs. Not just copying, like, although this looks really cool, I love that you've already, like, started experimenting with it in different ways as well. Really good start. And, like, the multiple arches, roofs kind of covering some things. You have vertical layering as well that looks really good. They're not all on the same exact height and stuff. That looks really good. Great start. Like adding in just little details and stuff. Breaking it up is always the key. Trying not to repeat the same thing over and over and over again, I think, is a big part of it. Then we have a lot of little houses from what I explored earlier in my own time. Acorn railing windows are awesome. Yeah, they're definitely cool. Yeah, definitely lots of interior to work on, but I love that you've connected everything. You're like just kind of naturally using the different levels. Oh no, leave me alone. Not nice, sir. Another mage user. Love it. Yeah, the little things, exactly. Fun little roof designs and stuff too. These look really nice. These work really well, actually. Yeah, with like the gable roof, not just like using more of the curves, but like just little details, Food and Ducky were talking about making glass looking windows. Yeah, that would be really cool. But that is it's a great way. A lot of what grounded detailing is like finding unique ways to kind of mess with things in ways that they weren't necessarily intended. Buildings look the same. I need to change them a bit. Yeah, I think that was like one thing I do see is really take a look at like what Alfredo did is like, how do you make each building sort of its own unique little thing? And when you have this many of them, it's even just like creating more like village type spaces. So like this district is the mushroom district. That's the pumpkin district. Doesn't have to be that simple, but how do you think through like these houses are all sort of, even if it's like clustering these in repetitive houses, each district, each different area has its own sort of look. So like you can do 6 or 7 of the same houses here and then 6 or 7 of the same houses over there, and it's like swap them around, do slightly different designs. I think would immediately help you kind of differentiate them a lot, because I like the way you're laying things out. You're using the natural terrain really well already. Like that's what's cool about this area. Like you found what is cool about this area already, is that it has a lot of high terrain, low terrain, and you're connecting it really well. You can immediately like start building down into these areas. Of course, always difficult with the mosquitoes and stuff down here. But yeah, you can start connecting into these like ponds. You can build houses out around these things and make like a lake district sort of thing. Is sort of how you start differentiating them. But yeah, definitely think switching up your house design. Although they look really nice the way they are, it's just like, how do you add one extra detail? Is this house pop up a half block? Would really help. Like a couple of them go up a different level. Break up the roof a little bit as well on them, because it doesn't take a whole lot to change them. Follow the orange brick road. It's amazing how really small changes in a design can really quickly kind of change the overall look, especially like some of the bigger houses. Be part of it is a handful of larger scale houses in some of these areas would do a lot for you, because like this is already a great little detail, already looks really nice. But like, how do you break each one of these up? Because like these houses are all sort of the replication, so just a little bit more detail and depth. It's harder when you're on the smaller size of houses and stuff too. It makes it more difficult of a project, for sure. But like lots of details, like how do you add these windows in? make some window, like lines of windows. I kind of see some similar styling to the Hogwarts boathouse I designed in Grounded 1. Would be a nice little one, very similar style, like roof and stuff, but I just broke it up by one layer. Could really add a lot of detail to some of them. But like, really like your bay windows. Those are gonna be great when you get all the detail and stuff in them. And just as same thing I was saying to Slumber is like, now I start thinking, what's the purpose of each one of these houses? Because like when you have this many of them, when you have a full village, it's like, think of everything. You need a blacksmith, you need a tailor, you need an armorer, you need a market, you need a farm shop, you need like everything you could think of. And that's like, that's one good use. Like I try not to use too much AI, but when you're designing things like this, like run into ChatGPT really fast and say like, what are all the buildings in a typical medieval village or whatever? Doesn't necessarily have to be that type of village. It's whatever your vibe is, of course, whatever your aesthetic is going for, what you're going for. But use ChatGPT or whatever AI you like to give you ideas to like expand the way you're thinking about it to the one level further, I think is how I typically like to think of it. Which will really help with like, okay, well, a blacksmith house needs these things and a tailor is going to need these things. How do you start adding? Some of these houses should have 2 floors. Some of them should have 3 floors. Some of them should be the one singular floor. There's like lots of different ways you could sort of add details and stuff. And exactly like what you're doing here. These are going to be great details. Love seeing that you already have some of this done too. So it's like slightly redundant what I'm saying. Like you're already headed in these directions. But yeah, a candle shop, like someone selling candles, someone selling bugs, someone selling like foods, the pictures, but start thinking of like the whole village in this way. Don't forget the brothel, of course. Exactly. Oh yeah, these things look so sick. I forgot those are even in the game. Need to grow some of those. Because yeah, these vibes, like the upper level looks really cool, and like once you start combining it with the lower levels and stuff, it's gonna be really nice. Like you're already utilizing, that's like the best part about it, is you're utilizing the spot you picked really well. It's just like all the details are where it just takes so much time. Like don't get down on yourself having 100 houses to detail out, but just little by little, keep doing exactly what you're doing. You're utilizing all the space of this area really, really well already. Love this little like under area as well. Copilot, spew ideas into it and torture it by making it organize them. Yeah, exactly. And it really helps you design out like districts and ideas and different houses and stuff. But like this whole concept just expanded to like every building in it, not just a cool market, but like each of these people has to live somewhere. Like you're selling your stuff in this market area, but like where is the candle maker's shop? Where are they making the candles, not just where they're selling them? It's like this is all detailed out really, really well. There's a really cool use of the cave down here too. Yeah, like absolutely. What I love seeing is like you have all the houses to detail out, but I already know like full confidence that you can detail everything out, because like this all looks great. You're absolutely headed in the right direction. These look really cool. It's a really good use of them. I'm so churned around down here. Shared shop between the villages I plan on building. Yeah. And then like each of them gets their own area, their own shop, their own house. Like everyone's going to have their own house designed out. Keep utilizing the spaces like you have. Building like within all of these little ponds and stuff is going to be really fun as you keep detailing it. I think like some of the root bases we saw really early on would be great examples of stuff to take ideas from as well. We have some really cool root bases where like all the different spaces and the verticality and the upper and lower areas were designed really, really well. Lots of interesting ideas, but yeah, like start thinking of houses like that are raised and lowers, like all really cool. I believe this is survival test. Yeah, no handy net. It is survival. But it's a big project, so it takes a long time to detail this many buildings out too. Don't ever feel like you're behind or anything. Same thing with my root base that you toured. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know what you're doing. I can see the potential. I've seen it before. Saw a lot of cool bases like that. And Ludarav and Impasta and a handful of the other creative builders we've seen have like crazy details, crazy interiors, but the layout is really fun. Really enjoying like exploring the area so far. It's always hard to figure out how you like walk through all this different stuff because there's just so much space. But yeah, really like seeing like houses like this already, where it's just like one extra little detail. Those sort of things make a huge difference really fast. Yeah, little planter areas. Looking at the food truck one we saw the other day with like making like magical. I think that would be a great example. I'm not sure if you saw that one, Raider. But on our last tour, we saw one where they had clipped all of the new hydroponic planter boxes and stuff and garden patches into the ground and covered them, and it just felt like a magical forest. You could start adding like cool details and filling in these open spaces as well. It's like you're not going to build on all of this. You want some of the terrain to show, but that would be a really good place to kind of keep expanding, is like adding in like a magical forest feeling and kind of utilizing more grass and adding in your own grass, adding in your own kind of like planted elements will add a lot of detail in between the builds. Because I found that was always my struggle, is when I started doing village type design, it was really hard to fill the in-between spaces that you're not going to build houses or bridges and walkways and stuff. Really nice little details and stuff here as well. Yeah, you can definitely see where you've started messing with a lot of the stuff in interesting ways. Checking out that shit, haven't gotten to using the ideas. Yeah. Yeah, but I think you're absolutely headed in the right direction, though. Absolutely headed in the right direction. Very small assassin base that I've been working on, but it took a back burner. Love when people build inside caverns. Yeah, the cavern area is really cool. But yeah, really well done with like the verticality and stuff of it all. There's like so much potential of just like adding. You can just see, eventually I see the image like in my head. That's how I know it's headed in the right direction, is I already see little areas. I see how you could start building houses around the lakes. I can see where like all the different things are going to get detailed and stuff. Like, got the imagination going. So it's a really good start to a village. And it's a never-ending grind when you're building villages too. Even like building some stuff like up on the top, building up on the rocks and stuff. There's just a lot you can do with this. It's a really interesting area. How you could start utilizing like the lily pad type leaf things. I guess they're like pumpkin stalks, aren't they? Something like that. Yeah, like how you can start tying designs into these areas. It's a really cool spot. Really, really interesting. Yeah, there's just so many little things you can do. Gets the mind going for sure. Originally gonna have this idea sprawling through the greenhouse. Yeah, I think this is a really cool location for it though. I really like it. You could definitely do it in the greenhouse too, but I think this is a fun spot that not as many people are gonna build out like this. It's got a lot of interesting terrain, which is what I always like seeing. Lots going on. Top-notch spot, yeah. Especially for a village. Like, you picked a really good spot for what you wanted to build. Very similar to the root village. Works really well. Yeah, you don't even recognize it, and you haven't even, like, fully filled everything out either. Adds a lot of detail. But yeah, your layout's really good. I really like how where you've decided to put the houses and how you've connected them and stuff. And like once you start like diving into these like lower areas even more, it's gonna look really good. Sometimes don't even recognize the part of the map. Yeah, I think that's my favorite thing, is seeing like the absolute transformation of an area where it's like you don't even really realize that's where you've been running for weeks and weeks while you're doing your own thing. Because most people will never even touch this. It's just like they're just gonna hop up here and get over the wall. But yeah, you're absolutely headed in the right direction. My first impressions, as always, give you an 8 out of 10. I think there's a lot of interesting ideas. That's typically what I'm looking for, is like utilization of the space, really interesting detailing areas. I know, as you said, like you have lots of interior work to do. You're headed in the right direction, and you're creating a spot that's going to be really, really interesting to see in the long run. So I think you're absolutely headed in the right direction. At my first glance, the layout interior, the layout of it, I think is like top notch. I think you're like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 on the layout of the whole thing. It's just the interior details, of course, but like seeing what you've done before, like I have no hesitation. You're going to do absolutely great. You're headed in the right direction. The lower area looks insane. The details here, the little places you've had time to kind of like switch up the buildings and stuff, it all looks like it's headed in the right direction. So it's full confidence in you there. The materials and exterior stuff is the one thing where I would push further. I'd probably give you like a 6.5 on the exterior. I think you could really start pushing the differences, even if it's like 3 of the same houses here. Have these ones totally different, have these ones totally different, have these ones totally different. Then like nothing wrong with a little bit of like rinse and repeat. I think it makes life a little easier. Don't think of every building needed to be like its own unique thing, but get into those like district ideas. Each little housing area is going to be slightly different. You're going to have like the affluent neighborhood up on the hill or whatever, or around the lake, or up on here, or if you start building up here, or even like building out over here, build up on the rocks. Like what is the one design detail between each little kind of section of the village? I think it'll really quickly start to come to life, even without the interiors being fully done of every single house, because this is more houses than most people will detail ever playing in the game. You've been looking up for inspiration. Yeah, and definitely like Imposta's thing from earlier is a great example of just really quick little changes. Like every house had very similar materials, but everyone just had little tiny differences, and it's little things will make a huge difference. The detail of this will like explode really, really fast, which I think will be really nice. The structural side of it, I think you've done a good job with the structures. It's really fun how you've utilized like the terrain as structure. I think is always a really good use. Even like the structural pieces here, probably give you like an 8 out of 10 on that. I love seeing structure doesn't necessarily mean the house itself, but like how you placed it on these different things. So I think you've got a really good understanding of how you would place, and like the locations of each of these houses all make sense. It doesn't feel like any of them are kind of like weirdly placed. Like they all feel like that's where I would put a house if I was a builder. Like I've done a lot of master planning working for the architectural firm I worked for, and a lot of that is like placement of things makes a huge difference. And so I think like master plan wise, you have a really good direction here. That's gonna suit you well in the long run as you start upping the details of everything. It's gonna be pretty nuts. I'm excited to come back and see it. Functionality wise, kind of just having fun with it. I don't even know where your function is necessarily, since it's a village, but always thinking about like, especially building in survival, like where are the crafting stuff? Where are you going to build your like central point? So I always like making my own like mansion is one thing. You could like pick your own mansion location as well as like your main base location, which could add a huge amount of detail as well. The big old mansion on the hill is always a fun idea. Yeah, building out on the lily pads and stuff will be really cool. But yeah, that would bump the function up, but even like the under area like functionally works really well. It's laid out really well, so I think you're absolutely headed on the right path. The theme and continuity, I think theme-wise, we can bump it up a little bit. I think the framework is absolutely there. But it's, as we said, like bumping up the details of each individual building and just pushing them a little bit further. And it goes from like, this is really cool to like, this is going to be absolutely ridiculous to see when you're done with it. It's like, ugh, gonna look freaking awesome. And like everything has a lot of continuity now. Now it's just switching up, so it's not too much continuity between everything, not too much replication, and more each place gets its own individual kind of feeling and vibe. Is how I always like to think of it. Creativity, I think it's really awesome, man. I think you're on the right path. I think it's a really interesting start. Like your creativity from the other stuff I've seen you do, like it's great. I guess I'm not even worried about it. Like I know I've seen other great things, so it's like I see the potential of what's already been done, and can picture where it's going to end up. So I think it's going to be really cool. And it's really creative spot choice, really creative layout, really good utilization of all the different locations and stuff. Everything feels really, really natural, which I think is really difficult to do, building in a really natural spot. Building what we have is squares and cubes and stuff. It's really hard to like make it feel natural, but it winds through the space really well. Yeah, really, really well. And the potential is through the roof. Like, you have so much more room is the crazy thing. You've built a lot. You've built a lot here, but there's so much more room because of the location you picked and because of the idea of doing a village and a city kind of thing in here. Allows you to just expand for so long. You have many, many fun hours of designing and building to keep going with. But yeah, very, very well done. Appreciate you letting us take a look at this one, Raider. It's got a lot of potential, man. It's going to be really exciting to see where it ends up. Have a tower in the center of the town stick up above the leaves. Yeah, that could be really cool, too. I think it would be cool to see a couple structures pop out a little bit more. Of course, if you're going to use the lily pad type things, that's definitely a place where you can do it. I'm going to start building up the walls eventually. Yeah, seeing a little bit of verticality, some little towers or something pop up would be really interesting in that space, because it kind of naturally blends into the low valley that's there. And so like when you're up above, it'd be really cool to see just like something pop up, one house here, one tower there. Whatever you come up with for those ideas could be another way to kind of break things up as well. Might take away from what they got, because this is pretty great. I'd have a castle that ran up the wall to give me easy access to the garden. Yeah, there's lots of things you could do. Fully enclosing it would make it look really, really cool, though. Do small treehouse style village with little interconnected buildings on the lily pad leaves. Yeah, dude, that would look really cool. Wooden bridges, that would look really nice. Gonna be really cool, though, man. As always. Sent this one sec. Next up, we have Bacteria Piglet and SOTOG. A two-person build. All right, give me 1 sec. I'm going to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Dog hair in my mouth. Candles are imported by Ducky Ears. What? Oh, you're saying you import them? Well, then there needs to be a landing pad. It's got to be an airship dock. Yeah, no dog cam on Tour Tuesdays. It just having the extra thing covering up part of the screen, I feel like is a deterrent to the videos and stuff. Like people being able to see this whole full screen just for this one, this day. Thank goodness for rain delays at work. I'm glad to be able to watch all your amazing work. Hey, it's not all my amazing work. This is all everyone else's amazing work. Okay, next up, as I said, Bacteria Piglet and SOTOG. I'm taking a look at this one yet, so I'm going in for a surprise. This one is located here at the new bench location. Haven't seen anything built here, so this will be interesting. Okay. Spawn in a nice little bedroom. Hatches. I have to keep it a lookout for those. They're really easy to miss. Go up. Okay, got like a little castle vibe. Like the little details there. Speaking to everyone. Okay, cool. Sometimes people think it's my stuff. What's up? How's it going, Tim? Welcome in, man. You're having a good one. So moody vibing. Moody lighting in it. Kitchen area. Yeah, got stem. That's what it is. Okay. The living space. That is an expensive floor. Talk about bougie. Can't get much more expensive than a snake roof floor. That costs a fortune. This is the bane of my existence right now. Just wrapped up, pretty much finished with my Coliseum. Oh, dang, I missed it, man. I've been like keeping an eye on it, but I'm gonna have to go back and watch your VOD. Double check, see where it's gone. It's always hard following along when I'm in my own streams and stuff. It looked interesting from what I've seen from like thumbnails and stuff. Nice little turrets to help protect the base. Dude, again, these roofs are so expensive. Holy cow. Commitment. Go down from the upper area, I think. Hope you had a good stream, though. Welcome in, welcome in. Farming snakeskin is so annoying. What were they thinking? It's so fun. I love the mini game of it. I hate how little you get from it. If there was 10 of them on there, life would be good. It's the fact that there's 4. That's what's the struggle. Unfortunately, the devs don't think of people like us building big bases when they're placing resources. They think of the majority of people not ever needing anywhere near that much. Okay. Up and down. How do we get to the outside area? I was like, this way. I love it as an addition, but it is painful. Okay, got a little buggy storage area. Unfortunately, I mean, they're thinking about us in terms of giving us more materials and stuff, but they don't think of us in terms of how to farm those materials. Need a ton even to make a small base? Yeah, you really do. Oh, nice. Great little location, too. Love when bases are connected into these. Makes function of a base really, really good. Resource issues weren't as bad as Groundham's 1 because the devs piled materials in smaller areas. Yeah, that's the nice thing with the map being as freaking massive as it is. Like, you at least get pockets of lots of little materials. It makes a huge difference. It's a little bit longer of a trek to go find everything, but at least there's across the entire map, there's just more since we have such a large map. Okay, a little courtyard area. The majority of people wouldn't farm snake scales. Could have made you enough scales per run to make one armor set. Yeah. Definitely not a lot. Snake should have dry skin laying around. Yeah, I hope at one point it drops skin or something like that, or it just drops scales. Similar to like the koi fish. A little armory or a shooting range. Basketball court. A little like 3-point type line as well. Exit to the outside. Don't let the bugs in. Okay. I think they built up there too, maybe. Get to that? Sleep and make it day. Where's that bedroom I saw? I need a bed. Where do I sleep? Thought I saw a bed. Maybe I'm blind. Such a perfect looking human being. Beginning to think you're lying to us and you're Dragon Ball Z android? No. Dude, everyone with the toilets tonight. Literally everyone's had toilets. What is this? These are all in the same page. Oh yeah, that's where we started. Duh. Dang it. Oh, wait, that's pretty close. You can sleep shortly. I feel naked without my mustache though. Feels weird. I had that thing for like 4 or 5 years almost. Android 67. Dev should give us a snake cave, so every so often the snake would molt, and we could get more scales that way. Yeah, or just like respawning scales in there would be cool. Since the cave goes down into a hole, you could very easily make it go underground. It'd be kind of fun, like a Indiana Jones type thing too, where like the snake comes and you have to like dive off into like little caverns on each side or something. It'd be more fun. I hope they double down on that whole concept. I really enjoy the farming process with the snake. I just want a larger amount of it. Yeah, the snake passed through the hole. It would be freaking awesome. Tell if they really built anything up there. They definitely did. Oh yeah, there's a lot up there. Oops. Jump to my death. Oh, yeah, there's a whole outside area over here. I enjoy the whole little thing that they got going on with that. Okay, here we are. It'd be cool trying to outrun the snake. But getting lots of scales, yeah, that would be really cool. Here, was that the roof? See that? Pretty sick. This build's pretty sick. Yeah, we're just getting into it. Heck am I? Yeah, it's like, it looked like there was a lot more going on. I just was like, how do you get to it? So many little nooks and crannies. They have the bug fighting rings under here. This is where I always love seeing builds. People get really creative with it. Funny little underground areas. Oh, dude, that's really smart. Love that. It's a great little secret way to get into a place. It's a really good idea. A little like speakeasy sort of thing. Loving the vibes. Very cool. It's the dang... I miss the hatches so much. Keep missing them on these builds. I'm glad I found that on accident. They're so easy to walk right past when you're not like expecting them. Really, really easy to miss. That little chest. Oh, this is a really cool little detail. It's the small things, but that looks really nice. Bar is amazing. It's definitely stealing that ideas, right? That idea. Definitely cool. Yeah. How do we get up to that little spot? Oh, you just can't get into it. That's why. This is a really cool. I definitely like this idea. I feel like I'm missing something. Another secret door or something that I can't get to. Yeah, the arches with the quarter triangles. Okay, this is just placed the other way. Right? Oh, there's a bounce web elevator over there. Okay. So much more to this build than I originally thought. Okay, so that brought us there. The hatches are super fun. Oh, here we go. Oh, very nice. A little bounce web elevator area. Love the little window details. Oh yeah, I just walked straight past this and didn't go in. Derp. That's why. Main grounded 2. Very cool. Yeah, so we went up. So now let's go see what this. More hatches. This looks really nice too. It's a really cool little detail on the floors. Off to bed. Sounds good, man. Thanks for coming by and saying hi. Oh yeah. Very cool. So much going on. I don't even know which way I want to go. Very cool. So much going on. It's so funny starting in like a small little area and then like there's so much happening when you get all the way around. Yeah, this is Bacteria Piglet and SOTOG space. Base on the building reminds me of Tin Man from Wizard of the Oz. I don't even notice it enough. Go back around and see it. Kind of scary. Oh. Try not to fall and die. Wait, was the face down below? What did I miss? Am I blind? Oh, that was dumb. Okay, we didn't die. We're good. Oh, jeez. Thought I was gonna die. Face or that? That one? Oh, this. Oh, that's hilarious. I didn't even notice that. Those are like perfect eyes, too. That's funny. That's really good, yeah. I walked right past that and didn't even notice it. That's really cool. They got perfect mouth, too. Very fun. They got the chair launch glitch, too, sitting here. Very funny. You guys haven't seen that one. If you light the firework launcher, sit in the chair and do the jump sitting glitch, then you get caught and the firework launches you. I won't do it because we need to stay here, but like so many little pathways that I wasn't expecting in this base. Very cool. Okay, just get you down and out. It's way nicer entrance than having to go up the croquet racket. Down area. Got your chest, your function and all of that. Crafting area. Nice little crafting area. Well, good job on the lighting as well. Pallet storage and everything. Nice. Feels a lot bigger than I was expecting. Same. I was not expecting anywhere near this amount. Much, much bigger than it looked like. Like, such a random way of getting in and out of the base that I was like, had no clue where we were going or how we were getting anywhere. Pumpkin face is my favorite part of the base. Yeah, it's really, really funny. I love all the little ideas you guys come up with. They're freaking amazing. Dude, you guys, like, there's so many ways to get up and down this base. Crazy. Love the little archways and stuff. It is way bigger than it looked like. So many people have massive crafting areas. I never feel like I need that much. I mean, I think it's like a personal choice at the end of the day. Like, you don't necessarily need a ton, but it fills a lot of space. And in the long run, if you like having every item, like, I like designing my area out to have one of every item. So for me, it's like the bigger the better. It's a little view spot. And sometimes it's just nice to fill the space because you can. The chests look cool. Double thick walls. These look nice too. I think we went down already. Yeah, that's the crafting room. Snake, dude. So creepy. Windows are so nice. Love these frickin' pumpkin windows. I have no clue how I'm gonna use them, but they look so cool. Go back to work tonight. Sounds good, Rock Me. Have a great rest of your night. Good luck at work, man. Nice little watchtower. Look at the snake. Such a cool addition. I don't know why it growls like that, but very cool. Braziers and stuff. Oh. Jump off the edge. No more vacation? Man, horrible. I built in survival like I do in creative. I definitely want some massive farms. Everyone's survival builds always blow my mind. My survival builds are more small and cozy. Yeah. It takes a different level of desire to build in survival and go crazy big. Bug things. Okay. I think we saw it all. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. There's so many ups and downs and twists and turns. It's very easy to get lost. Little secret hatches and stuff everywhere. Very cool. Ton of little medium bases, but I have a lot of crafting stuff, so I can do it all more easily. Love doing tighter feeling builds, but lots of crafting stuff. Yeah. And everyone has their own kind of like style and way they like to do things too, so some are big, expansive craziness. Some people are just, it's all different. It's like looking around for more little hatches and stuff. Make sure we don't miss anything. Well, very cool. Bacteria and SOT. Say, first impressions. I think what I enjoy most about this base is that the way we started and in the base we started in, I did not expect it to be anywhere near this big. At first glance, it looked so much smaller. And so I really like how you've taken... you've made it look like it's a much smaller base. And by the way you're like navigating through this space, it just like opens up little by little, which is really fun and not necessarily that easy to do as well. Like very hard to utilize the space you've used in the way you have. So I think it's a really cool way of kind of navigating from a lower base to an upper base. It's like you don't necessarily take the path of least resistance to get to each spot. It's a really interesting little kind of way of navigating through this whole base, which I think is sort of opens up as you get through a certain area, and it opens up to a new area, and it opens up to a new area, and it just keeps getting like bigger and bigger every second. Which I think is a really fun way to experience it, especially because I didn't explore this base at all before stream, so I had no clue what we were getting into and how to get around it or anything. So I think it was really fun to see. Very interesting kind of way. I love the secret passages and stuff. Like, those are really cool, really fun little ways to get through it. The secret fighting arena and stuff, really fun. The use of hatches was really good. They're hidden really well, so I almost missed a couple of them, which I think is really cool and exciting to be part of. The location works really well. So first impressions, I'd probably give you like an 8 because of just the surprise factor. I think it was really fun. It was just like, oh, another piece. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Like, over and over again, I was like, wait, it just keeps going. Like, I was not expecting at any point. You're like, oh, look, this kind of cool little spot right there. I didn't even notice the little thing to get up the bounce web elevator at first. So it was like really fun little experience to just kind of like explore organically and find and it stumble upon the additions and stuff. But I think you did a really good job on that part. The layout and interior, I think you have a really good start to a lot of it. I think like the bar area, like the secret vibes and stuff in there is really good. The bedroom looks nice. I think I would push a little bit more in terms of that. Like that level of thoughtfulness, I think would be really cool to see in some of these areas. Fill them up a little bit more. Seeing that, like I always see when I see someone have like creative, interesting storytelling areas like that, I'm always like, okay, like now I know that they can do really interesting ideas. I know that they can push it. I'd like to see that level of detail and like story kind of driven further into these areas. But overall, it does work really well. The layout is really, really fun. I thoroughly enjoy like exploring this base because new things kept popping up everywhere we went. There's just enough signage to help me get through it without missing a bunch. Because I probably would have missed a decent amount of the like secret little pathways and stuff, which I think were probably the most fun part about the entire thing. Is you can't really tell where you're going and how you're getting there until you're like accidentally in it, which I think is really fun. But like the vibe in here is like so good. Like keep this level of detail and vibe everywhere, and like this thing's gonna be absolutely ridiculous. It's a very cool base overall. So I probably give you like maybe a 7 on the interiors, just because I see how good this spot is. Sorry about that. How good this spot is, but I want to see the rest of it detailed to this level. There's a lot of cool little details, but some of the spaces feel just a little bit empty compared to how cool this is. So just think through that a little bit more. But in terms of the layout, like absolutely love. Like on layout, I'd probably give you like an 8.5 or a 9. Just because it's fun exploring. Really fun exploring, and just like accidentally finding different spots. And like there's some really cool little details here. Like love these little details and how you're experimenting with some of this stuff too. So there's a lot of big stuff, but like some of these areas like this room could use that level of detail compared to the bar. I think would make a huge difference in some of it. Just keep filling it out and stuff. Of course, it always just takes more time, of course, so it's not like you can't get there, but some of these rooms just feel a little bit bland when you have such a cool area like the bar, and how you get there and how it's hidden and secret. It works really well and is really cool. Materials and exterior, I think you could bump this up a little bit. I think it's a good start, but you do have a decent amount of like open kind of big walls and stuff where it might be nice to start messing with depth a little bit. I really like that you have these like big open bay windows and stuff, and those add a ton of detail. But then when you have some of these like larger expanses of wall, they sort of feel flat compared to some of the other details. I think I'd give like a 7 on the exterior and the details. I think there's some really cool parts. The face that we saw as well in the upper area, like the details there in a lot of the areas. I like how you kind of messed with these triangles and the arches as well. Kind of messed with the different materials and stuff, but instead of just a big pumpkin build and a big mushroom build, I think I'd like to see a little bit more mix of materials in some of the areas. start thinking about how to like detail some of these big walls, and not just windows work for a little bit of it, but the window scale feels really small compared to some of the really big walls and stuff. So that might be something specifically to start kind of focusing in on, as a way to get a little bit more detail out of some of the spaces. And like, I like that you have sort of interior spaces, you have exterior courtyards as well. So I do really like those parts of it. The little like turrets and stuff are really fun. So I think those are really well done. But from how well you've detailed out some of the areas, it leaves some of the other areas just a little bit lackluster comparatively. Just because when you do a really good job on one area, it makes other areas sort of stand out in the opposite way. So always trying to like push the different materials, try combining materials maybe a little bit more might help. Like mushroom and pumpkin, or more stem and pumpkin. Like the burr and pumpkin looks really nice together, but it ends up being a lot of brown and orange. So kind of thinking through how you can design those things out. The windows are really cool and stuff, but how can you maybe start designing, like using the triangle pieces on the tops? How could you start kind of cutting windows using the triangles and stuff? That would start helping break up the single materiality that you have going on. But I think there's a lot of potential in what you have done. Again, you have sort of empty spaces in these areas. As you get these detailed out, like all the detail level will just kind of like skyrocket. But where you have like cool bay windows and stuff, it works really well. So just keep thinking of how you can keep adding more and more of those types of details, and just continue adding to the little detail and everything. The structural side of it, not a whole lot I can say. It's all kind of grounded and connected. There's not a ton of necessarily like structural elements in terms of columns and stuff, because it's sort of built on these naturally made structures that are already in the game for you. So you can't really hate on it, can't really say anything against it or for it. It works. One thing you could start thinking of is like how to break up some of the bigger walls, maybe using structural pieces. Sort of how do you add some more detail to some of the bay windows and stuff could be an interesting way to do it. In terms of like adding columns to sort of add like a recess structure. So you have like a big bay window, and then you sort of add some like colonnades behind it or something could help a little bit. Also could help with like towers like this, like how do you tie these back in a little bit, could help add just more and more detail to it. Even same thing here, like how do these start tying in so they're not just like massive cantilevered kind of spaces, although they look cool and they're not necessarily not working. Those would just help bump up the detail very similarly to how you've done these little details. More of this kind of stuff, how you kind of like add those in, can really help kind of add to the realism of it. And again, like on the exterior, like big walls like this could use some slightly different materials, or building too thick walls would help as well, so you can kind of cut things in and out of it. The functionality seems like it functions really well. You have a lot of different storage areas, so you can kind of like build in different areas at any given time. So that seems like it works well. Your storage areas are decent. They're laid out nicely. They work. One thing is I like to think about when I'm doing this is how do you add these areas so they're not just like a crafting bench in a chest room, but how do you start detailing out chest rooms and crafting benches? How do you build around them to have form as well as the function of it? So a lot of the times it's really easy to just get stuck in, I need a crafting room and I put chests on shelves and a crafting bench in there, but there's other crafting materials, there's all the functional sides of things, and like how do you add those into the design so they enhance it and aren't just kind of crafting rooms? So that's always the functional, like you can't really downgrade it or anything because it functions, it works. But I always like to think of like how can I use the functional elements to elevate the design of it a little bit more, is I think kind of the next step for you guys, because the rest of it's working, and it's now time. The way I like to think of it is it's not just about is it functioning, is it working, but how is the function adding to the design is something I'd like to push further. When you have people that are have good design ideas and good skills, you have a lot of cool little interesting details. So it's like how do you kind of push those other elements that feel bland and mundane a lot of the times if you're not thinking of them in sort of out of the box ways. Can really help add a ton of detail to spaces that kind of tend to feel boring and simple when you think of them kind of like in a one-dimensional way, that they're just like crafting area needs to craft things. One little thing I like to think about, also, like, sometimes it's fine hiding these things away, but also, like, these functional pieces are really interesting and have some ideas. I mean, we've seen people make faces out of these things, and you can make little caves. You can make cool pallet storage areas. Like, that also helps filling up a lot of these spaces as well when you have big open spaces. And, like, how do you stack the pallets and different things? Just to add more and more detail, and how do you using the functional things in playful ways that you've used, like the dummies to do shooting ranges and basketball hoops, but like using the mundane things in a little slightly more elevated design way, I think really helps push those spaces that feel kind of boring when you think of like you just have to craft in there, and how you can kind of utilize it. Even just little design things like this, like raising up the hydroponic patches. And like, how do you elevate the design a little bit? Little things like this really go a long way. The theme and continuity, I think you have a lot of your ideas kind of working out really well. There's nothing wrong with like a mushroom area and a pumpkin area, but I always like thinking of like how these areas could be tied together a little bit more visually. Like at first, I didn't even have any clue that this was up here. So finding visual ways to sort of tie them together could be kind of interesting, like having the build sort of start as mushroom and it could transition into pumpkin, or the bounce web elevator tower that you see there. That could be something where that does it, where you can kind of see them transitioning visually by the way you kind of like swap materials, or like you use lines between like thick pumpkin or thick mushroom, little pumpkin, smaller mushroom, sort of like creating lines or things that visually are like, oh, that looks like something that goes up. It draws my eye to that and connects these spaces a little bit more. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with using two totally different materials and experimenting with it. It's very possible you started messing with mushroom first and then started messing with pumpkin, and like that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that at the end of the day, but just trying to push those designs to the next level. It's kind of how I like to think of it. And tying them together makes it feel like one base, not two individual bases. But also very possible that like your friend's building up there and you're building down here, or vice versa. So it's very possible that's why you like mushroom, they like pumpkin. Very like I just kind of have to like make up how I think I see these things and how these connections could be made. But we saw that one base ages ago where one person was building one base and another person was building another base, and they were like intermingled on top of each other. And that was like a really big thing that I thought pushing their idea is like, how do these two places connect in interesting ways? Does pumpkin hang from the ceiling that's kind of created by the bench and like sort of seep down into this area? And like there's towers that kind of like pop up into the pumpkin areas, could be really interesting. And just kind of create more visually interesting design ideas of like how these two spaces, like yin and yang sort of things, could be an interesting way to do it. And that would help the continuity of the two different bases sort of come together in interesting ways, and could create some really interesting like visual ideas as well. Overall creativity, like I think you guys have some really interesting ideas. There's lots of little things. It's just taking those little design features, the little design ideas, the secret hatches, the little archway designs that you had, the pumpkin face up top. Like, how do you keep pushing those creative ideas further so they read everywhere, so you don't end up with one really detailed area and then one like more blank open area? And of course that's endless amounts of time put into the build, and it's like you guys obviously aren't done with the base, so it's lots of time to fill space and keep adding and stuff. But something to think about, and just trying to have all those creative ideas happening all over the place whenever you can really help sort of drive those things forward more. How do you use more of these ideas? How do you kind of bring that into some of these bigger open walls? Because there's definitely some interesting things happening that I think are really cool. Get out of here. Like the use of the rugs and stuff is interesting. The hatches were awesome. The secret room, the secret bar is really cool. Just like love those ideas. Just keep pushing them. Uh-oh. Crash. No, we're good. Oh. But yeah, I think you've done a great job. You know, there's a lot of creativity. And then in terms of the overall potential, I think there's a lot of potential here at the end of the day. Like, I think you guys have a lot of space to work with. You have a lot of interesting ideas. Sorry, I'm lagging out or something. Something weird's happened with the game. It doesn't like that Scorpion. You've given yourself a lot of space to work with. You have a lot more rooms to detail. You have a lot more space to detail out. So I think there's a lot of potential with the spot you chose and how to like get in between the two spaces. I think is really fun. I think like there's this interesting yin and yang thing that you could kind of keep diving into between the two materials and like how they connect and are different at the same time, and how the two bases sort of feel similar but different. Could be an interesting way to kind of continue pushing those designs and stuff. So I think you have a lot of interesting ideas that can just be taken to that next level, and more detail is going to make it look really cool. But I think it's a really cool base. It's a lot of fun exploring. It's hard to, it's always interesting as the reviewer to like get lost in a space like that and have no clue where we are and how we're getting from spot to spot. So it's always really fun, hiding hatches and stuff. Like, you guys are obviously having a lot of fun playing around with different design ideas. So I think it's a really fun little base to work out and design and kind of see all the different things happening and how they're all connecting and the different ideas you guys have going on. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff. It's a lot of fun. But very cool, very great base. Really fun to explore. I love kind of going into these ones like totally blind, just by accident and stuff, and just kind of like finding my way through it and seeing all the little stuff. It was really fun. Very cool base. Thank you, Bacteria Piglet and SOTOG. Appreciate you letting me take a view of this one. Very cool. Really need to learn how to make a proper bounce elevator. I love seeing them in so many bases. It's honestly a lot easier than you thought. How many bases have you gotten through? 2, 3, 5. We only have 3 left, technically, total. Felix, are you still here? You want me to review your base now? If you're here, I think you're Wouter Felix, right? That's Felix82 NL, if I'm not mistaken. If you're not here yet, let me know, and I can save it or something too. Because we also have Grimm's base and Stahl's base. But Felix wanted to go near the end. I'm not sure how big your base is, so I don't know how much time it's going to take, so I want to give it enough time. Yeah? If you're ready, we can go ahead and do it. Alright, let's get it. We will save Grimm and Stahl's for the next stream. Scorpions are so loud. Yeah, I'm really glad there's none around my base anymore. Is that Felix? Are you on Twitch and YouTube? Is that you? Been waiting for this base? Let's go. Yeah, and then we get Grimm. We get a really good base to start out next one. What the heck is this hot sauce? I'm getting sneak peeks of things I haven't seen before. YouTube, one of the streams always has more delay than the other. I think it's YouTube always has just a built-in one. So yeah, this will probably be the last base of the night, and then we have a couple bases for the next one as well, which will be good timing. Get through 6 is about right. Oh yeah, I kind of like this one. Okay, okay. Uh-oh. Bring it. Get out of here. What's up, Paul? Good name, good name. Everyone's looking forward to it. I'm excited. Yeah. Love to submit my base when I can finally get it done. It's taking ages because I'm building it in secret from my friend in our world. I want to surprise him come the summer update. Yeah, no worries, Green Dino. Just make sure you join the Discord. For whoever is new in here, make sure you join the Discord. If you want to do base reviews, you want to have your base reviewed as well for these, you just have to reach out to me on Discord. Send me your Xbox username. I will get you added to the list. And we do these every Tuesday. Okay, so next up is Felix82, located over here by the ice cream cart. We will we'll just get into it. Seen a lot of cool bases over in this area, so we will see. Seen some sneak peek images, but I'll try not to take a look. Love this fully off-grid pathway, dude. This is great. What is happening? It's a really nice pathway. Gotta love it. Some structural pieces. Oh, I didn't know you could use these little signs with the arrows. That's nice. Great little entry to get into the ranger station. Always love that. Again, love bases that are, especially survival bases that are located near these ranger stations. Works really well. This is going to be good. There's an off-grid path. Definitely. Definitely. Oh, jeez. Was not ready for that. Go back down. That was a very efficient little bounce web. I didn't even realize that that's what it was. It did look like a bear trap. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like you walk in there and you get trapped. Like clamps on your feet. Oh, dang. You even like... Wow, interesting. You clip those. You got so much clipped into the ground and stuff. Oh, yeah. This looks really nice, too. This is a really nice little detail. Oh, my gosh. You have bounce web areas to everything, dude. This looks really nice. This is, like, a really cool little detail. Just, like, inlaying pumpkin like that. Looks really nice. See the natural lighting, too. Okay. Under construction. Yes. Like that you added the little details. So many things happening. God, the cockroaches are so annoying. Why would they do that to us? Lighting looks very cool. Go into the bear trap. I think it goes under the map. I don't want to do that. We'll get stuck. We'll try that last. Nice little crafting area. God, you have so much like clipped into the ground and stuff. Like a hole that drops all the way down. Very cool. Really like the little lighting in this area too. Looks really nice.
Nothing like H2O.
Got your little... Dude. Love the way you're like clipping all of these things in and stuff. There's really nice little details. Dang. Cockroach meat. We can try it when we get out, Ducky. Don't worry. This guy. Oh, this is a... Oh, dude. That's genius. There's a little chute that has the dew collectors, so when the dew falls down, it fills up this inside their base. That's a genius little detail. That's the functional stuff when I'm talking about like taking a functional thing and making it an interesting design piece. That is a great little design. Love that. Yeah, a lot of cool little ideas going on. Very, very cool. Yeah, this looks really nice too. Oh, and you place these all on different grids as well to get them this close. Very nice. Yeah, you can't normally place them this close, so these are all on separate grids to allow you to build this little detail. Really nice. Very, very nice, dude. Okay, now we can go up to the street level. Now we can use it the way it was intended. The elevator reminds me of the fireplace teleporters from Harry Potter. Yes, dude. Yes. I love it. It's genius. Oh, and that's the way to get down. Okay. I really like that these are just single wide, too. It's a much nicer looking little piece. Yeah, and then you can go down. Dude, that's the level of creativity you've got going on, Felix. I love this. I love the little details. Oh, the little inlays. These all look really nice. Very cool. So many interesting little ideas. A little room with a leaf on top. Very cool. Oh, you place those on the leaf stem. Nice. I was like, what is that piece that you use? It's just a leaf stem. A little upper area above. Yeah, the elevator's great. Love how it's not just flat, but how there's little dips throughout. Yeah, definitely. Going to steal that archway? Definitely. I kind of had plans for that, and I had seen that the other day too. Little cozy little crafting spot with all your functional stuff. You even got like a little window. People can like order stuff. Very cool. Open to the tower last, of course. Yeah, this is what they would normally look like separated. Learning or stealing? No. You're learning. It's all learning here. That's the whole goal. But yeah, so this is what I was talking about. This is like the dew collector design that I was inside. You place them up above, and then they all fall into that little space and fill their water up in their own little bedroom. We borrow, because everyone has their own unique idea and stuff. Like it's not like we're all stealing ideas, because everyone's ideas end up being different in their own way. Store is functional? Yeah, it definitely looked like it. Very cool. Yeah, I love how you place these too. This is a really nice little detail, just having that as well. Yeah, like pop up, you can like shop and stuff. Very cool. Oh yeah, and you can like get in the chests from there. Rad rocks get tossed. Very cool, man. Yeah, to do more of it, for sure. It's a very good start. I love that you can't actually get into this except for from the inside in the lower level. Like, you have to utilize those bounce webs, which is really cool. So, we have... I swore they had names earlier. Show up. My game bugged out and spawned 5 wolf spiders right beside my base and messed it up. Oh, that's horrible, Stars. Starzy, ugh, that's the worst. There we go. Crafting, storage, penthouse. Let's go crafting first. Holy cow. That's so many bounce webs. Very cool. Yeah, I love your bounce web elevators, man. Those are really good. Yeah, you have your full little crafting area. Oh, nice, dude. And it's like, thank you for the notes, too, telling me how to get from each place to the others. Yeah, unfortunately, they're annoying and they load weird. Oh, here we go. So this went to the storage room. Very cool. Crafting right above the store, or yeah, crafting right above the storage. So you have all this. Love the little like central detail too. Lighting's really well done. Very creative. Love that you can just go all the way back down too. This is like one of the coolest spaces to get around, dude. This is really well thought out. Really, really well thought out. I can do that all day. Like, the thought that you put in to make this elevator system is freaking awesome. Very cool. What the heck? I don't even want to know how you made that, dude. Bounce elevators top notch? Dude, seriously. Dude, this is epic. I freaking love this. You just got all your crafting and stuff over there as well. Wow, man. That was freaking cool. I love it's like such a small little succinct base, but like that is such a good use of bounce web elevators. That is like the planning. The whole planning of that, and to have it all come back and land you back in here from the center is like absolutely ridiculous. Because you cannot tell. You like actually can't tell from the outside that there's so many bounce web elevators. You have no clue. Like, where do you even fit all those in? Just like all in this small little spot. It is really well thought out, man. Hold on, Ducky. We will. Yeah, it is more like a teleporter. No, dude, that's freaking awesome. And like everything is based around that too, so you can't just like get up there by accident or anything. Works so well. That's really cool, man. I really love that it all starts as less like underground base that just like teleports you almost up into this area. It's really cool. Really, really well designed. It's like, it's not the biggest base ever, but like the amount of effort put into planning this whole thing is freaking insane. Yeah, the stones are all off grid and stuff. Yeah, like so much interesting little design pieces to like get these little details that are not easy to do. Building 3 separate bounce web elevators that go to different heights and all can get you back down to the start too is also really difficult. Also closer together than 3 blocks. Yeah, exactly. Really, really cool. And there's like 400 bounce webs in there too. Like it's not even just like a couple. Really cool, dude. This is a really fun base. And yeah, you have each wall is on its own grid as well, too, if people hadn't noticed that. So it's not just one grid, essentially. You can see they're like clipping. 2 pieces clipping together, essentially. Yeah. Very cool, man. Wow. It is like very fun to explore for such a cool little base. Like has everything you need. The bounce web elevators are freaking awesome. And of course, there is actually an under the ground spot too. For those, there you go, Ducky. We are actually out of the map right now. Dude, you're nuts. Holy cow. This is gonna be epic, dude. Wow. Oh, that's so interesting. Got a really inside look of how they built all this. Wow, man. This is crazy. Creativity of people never ceases to amaze me. Yeah, like my brain would never be like, let's get under the map and let's do this crazy bounce web elevator. Like, it makes me want to make a bounce web elevator because I'm going to be making a massive, massive tower for our build. And I'm like, well, now I feel like I have to do that level of frickin' bounce web elevator to get up and down it because that was frickin' epic. Got to make a sick playground map with the community when it comes out. Yeah, that would be crazy. This is frickin' awesome, man. Thank you for the follow, Jeff. Welcome in. Uh-oh, we're stuck. Oh, you get in the chair to get out, maybe? Yeah. Dude, you are freaking mad lad, dude. This is insane. That is so freaking cool. You've thought of everything. You've thought of everything. I'll jump in the void at the end. Don't worry, Ducky. First impressions, man. Dude, I don't even know, like, it's another one that I just, like, it's so cool to explore. Like, it's so unassuming at the beginning. Like, you look at it and it's just like, okay, cool little tower. Nice little designs, lots of little details and stuff, but it's like, it's very unassuming. So like when you first look at it, you're like, okay, this is like a 7 or so. Like it's not the craziest build we've ever seen. But then when you like get into it, that's what's so impressive is it's like as soon as you're in it, you're like, wait a second, like this is all off grid. You have no clue what's happening with like this stuff, like all the off grid. And then you're like, hold on a second. Like there's another level of detail here that you don't know unless you've really pushed the building in this game, like outside of the realm. The bounce web elevators are frickin' probably the best I've ever seen. Like I don't think I've ever seen bounce web elevators that are like that good. They work really, really well. They function. The up and down features are like super fun too. And like how they shoot you up and then out really well on both sides of it are just like, I could sit here and do this all day. It's like, it's almost like a playground in a survival base, which I think is freaking awesome. And then like each one of these functioning at its own level, but you can still get to each of them in their own ways. Like you're bouncing up and then over and then up again there. Like there's so much thought into the planning of this build, which is like things you just don't see very often in this game. Like you didn't just build a base and then figure out how to maneuver around it. You thought, I'm gonna build a bounce web elevator to get to these levels, and then this is exactly how they're gonna function, and then you built this cool base around it, which I think is really cool. And yeah, you're never just like, it just works like all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom, the central shaft, and you still managed to fit like a really good amount of like well-designed crafting spaces. Like it's really functional, it's really interesting the whole way around. It works. The little details and how you've like placed the blocks together and stuff, like these are also like 3 different grids if you guys aren't noticing as well. Like that's the only way you get this little detail, is like this wall is on a different grid than this. So it's like there's so many little things that you would never notice unless you've really pushed the limit of this game. Think a video of how to do the lifts? Yes, please do, man. Please do. I think a lot of people would die to see this because this is really cool. But yeah, so like this is a lift. Each lift is its own thing. They're on their own grids and stuff. So it's like the level of planning to do this build is what makes off-grid building so freaking difficult. Because it takes a different level of planning to do it. You can't just build off-grid and hope it works out. Now you have to really plan it and then add the details in later, and like it's so good, the X of it. Like the layout and interior, just the bounce web elevators, I'm gonna give you like a 10 on the layout because it's so freaking well thought out. Like it as you said, the exterior still has work and stuff, of course. Like it would take me months to build this bounce elevator as consistent as you have to get it to work every time. Like the layout is freaking awesome. The connection between the different levels is freaking phenomenal. Like the layout is, at first glance, it's not, you wouldn't think it's anywhere near as crazy as it actually is, but it is actually insane how well you've laid this out. The thought and planning that has gone into this. As someone who's built a lot of off-grid stuff, like it is incredibly difficult to lay this stuff out and then build around it in a way that doesn't just get weird and janky. It works really, really well, man. Very impressive. The materials and exterior, as you said, like still needs some work. I think where you're experimenting with things, the like grass stuff looks really cool on the inside. The pebble foundations work as a fun little tower design and stuff. I really like the way you're like clipping the materials and adding these really nice little like details. These are really cool looking. The lighting is really well thought out and stuff too. But now also thinking like, the coolest part about having this off-grid stuff is you can do some freaking insane things with this now. So like start thinking of like how you add details to these areas and stuff, how you can like have fun with these, because there's so many weird things you can do with like more details and just like bumping out as you've done with the little bump out windows. But like how do you keep detailing these out so this build looks freaking insane? Because there's some really cool things you can do now that you've put the hard work in of getting it laid out and stuff. Like there's a lot of potential of how you could start detailing the more on the exterior. Continuing, like everything works really well and looks really nice, but like yeah, just like keep pushing with the off-grid stuff if that's the route you're gonna go, which it looks like you're very much on your way to just continuing breaking the game in every way possible. Start messing with depth more and more. This stuff starts to look really good, but keep pushing the depth and everything, and I think this build will get absolutely freaking ridiculous. And just like having fun, like you're even like clipping these together too. Like these are on different layers, if people haven't noticed. These are taller than they would normally be. You have like 2 grids coming in here, so these are sitting lower than these as well. Like keep pushing these little ideas and how you like layer these things, because it looks really good. Really subtle little things that only people who built off-grid mania like this would really notice. But yeah, these are really fun little details that make for really nice, clean little builds. But keep having fun with it. I think as you keep pushing off-grid stuff, you're gonna really start to see like how crazy the exteriors can get as well. Because the interiors are phenomenal. The detail level will get there with the exterior, so you have more time. I still, if I was building this from the release date, I still couldn't get those bounce web elevators to work that well from that, and I would have nothing else built but the bounce web portion of the tower at this point. So you're doing a really good job. This is really cool. I knew it was interesting, and I knew you were messing with some interesting ideas, but I did not know it was this, like, this crazy of a tower. Very cool. You still show the toadstools on map of the tower to the right? These things? Yeah, very well done. The materials and exterior will get there more and more. Keep messing with more materials and stuff. The worst part about pebbles is they become very heavy. So start, like, if you even find ways to, like, clip another material, like add another layer or something could be really cool. So you'd have, like, if you find, like, just get a mushroom wall right up against the pebble walls, you could do some really cool things with those as well and start messing with those. I'm assuming this is what you meant, right? Amazed by how I'm always blown away by the creativity in this community. Congrats, Felix. This is great. Yeah, it's really cool. Oh, the tower. But yeah, very, very cool. The structural side of it, I mean, just to build a structure in general that works that well is phenomenal. Yeah, building that tower in the center of that is freaking insane. Like, that structurally is absolutely nuts. And then, like, the lower level all working. You even built from some fun structure. So I think it's working really well. You have some really cool ideas going through the whole thing. This one? What? What am I looking for? Top right. I missed. Oh, up there. Okay, I see him. Get into the upper level and then go to photo mode. What's the chance of showing the Butterfly Kingdom again? We could definitely show it again. Just keep working. I mean, as long as you keep working on it, man. As long as there's, like, substantial additions, I'm happy to keep showing things. Yeah, man, like this on the exterior, exactly what I'm talking about. I know it's a little hard to see from below, but like this level of detail, figure out how to keep adding cool stuff like this to the whole thing, and it's gonna be nuts. Things absolutely mighty pancake, exactly. Yeah, this is nuts. This is a really hard thing to do because the game does not want you to do this necessarily, but when you figure it out, it works so well. So cool. Yeah, the mushrooms are really cool little additions. Really cool, man. Thanks for calling that out. I didn't even see them from the bottom. Yeah, I have to, the ducky claws. If we're re-reviewing bases, I like to see substantial updates just so we make sure everyone gets chances. Yeah, very cool, man. Very, very cool. The functionality of it, like, yeah, it's next level functional. Like, I can only give you a 10 on the function because the bounce web elevators are perfect. They function because it gets you to each level. Like, it's so well laid out. Like, it's so impressive on that side. The theme and continuity, I think it works really well together. Again, the exterior, you could work a little bit on the continuity and like the theme of it, kind of coming up with more design ideas. I really like the mushrooms and stuff. Like adding more stuff like that, I think would go a really long way, and just like tying the whole thing together and stuff. But having little elements like using the same roof materials and stuff sort of helps that as well. Very, very cool though on those. The creativity is again like 9 through the roof. Absolutely insane amount of creativity to come up with how you get through it, how you're building all these little things off grid. Like you have to be insanely creative to do it. Very, very cool. Join the dark side, right? You want to see Felix building creative too? Yeah, definitely. It would be nuts. Very, very cool. Don't have creative mode, but I have lots of just about materials beside orc parts. Make your fortress look better. Well, if you stick around and watch stuff like this, you will learn a lot. You'll learn a lot from the base tours of what you can do and what you can make happen in this game. It's a little different from the last time. Pretty dope. Yeah. Hey, no problem. Yeah, we got a couple bases on the list, but yeah, if you're working on it, you'll see where we're at next week. I got a couple people that reached out, so need them to share their worlds and stuff for the next one. So we'll see. It might be 2 weeks or so, not next week, but the week after potentially we could get to it. With what we have on the list, a couple people wanted to wait until this coming Tuesday, so the list fills up a little bit. And yeah, the potential's insane, man. Again, that last thing on my list, like the potential's insane with the ideas that you have going on. Like you have unlimited potential when you build like this. That's what I think is so fun about off-grid building, is that you can really do literally anything and everything. There's no limit but your creativity. But I definitely think you're gonna... I'm excited to see where you keep going with it, man. Just keep having fun with it. But with that being said, see you later. Stinky. Bye. Oh. We did it. We didn't even die. We're the best. Look at that. If I can't get out of the ground, I may just lose my game unless I die down here. Yeah, luckily for me, it's not my world, so I can do whatever I want. Just reload saves and stuff. This is what the bottom of grounded looks like. Hard to see. Come here, Paul. Help us. Not tonight. No, that was our last base of the night. Welcome in, Dean. You're having a great night. Yeah, we are. Well, this was the last base of the night. Did not know that? Yeah, I didn't know it either. This is the first time I've been under the map. Thank you for showing us that. That was a fun one. Oh, man. Craziness. Look for the chair. We're not getting back up anymore, I don't think. Paul's going to have to save us. There's a hitbox and everything. Go, go, go. You also should be able to just give up, right? Yeah, hit give up. If you hit give up, you can just respawn. And then you can just recover your backpack art. Little trick for you. Had to do that the other day. I got stuck in a hole. Yeah, you can always get out. You should be good. But with that, we are done with base tours for the night. That was the last one we were going to do. Appreciate everyone sending their bases and letting us do this. It is always so much fun to see the craziness that you guys come up with. The cool ideas, big, small. I mean, it's just nuts every time. There's always something new and ridiculous between the creative builds, the cool ideas, the interiors, exteriors, off-grid, just all sorts of interesting stuff. I freaking love seeing this stuff. It's so freaking fun. But really appreciate everyone. If you're not part of the Discord, make sure to join the Discord. If you want your base toured, we do base tours on Tour Tuesdays. Every Tuesday we're doing these. Just reach out to me on Discord. DM me your Xbox username. I'll add you as a friend so you can share your world and I'll get you on the list. No worries if you don't want to do them right now. If you're not done, if you're not ready or anything, we're going to be doing these all down the road as well. They're not going anywhere. As long as we got bases to review, I'll be doing them, and I'm happy taking weeks off if we don't have enough, or the list gets really long when people get going too. So get in there now if you can. Otherwise, appreciate everyone. I will be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be working on my mega build. I finally have like chests and chests and chests of stuff collected. So we're going to be doing like building tomorrow. And then I'm taking Thursday off. Sorry about that. I'm taking Thursday off. I need to watch my kid that night. My wife will be gone. So I will be streaming Friday night for you guys. So we will be doing a Friday night stream this week. Standard 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time start as usual, but we'll be streaming Wednesday and Friday this week. I'll be off Thursday. Pasta, if people make cool playgrounds, I'm happy to do playgrounds tour. I think that'd be really fun too, especially because they're going to be in the game early enough that people are actually going to build them. So if people do playgrounds, I will absolutely do playground reviews too. I think that'd be a really fun thing to show those off and hype up the playgrounds as well, because I think that was a feature that was heavily underutilized. Heavily underutilized. And yeah, making games for me, goofy stuff, parkour maps, whatever it is. Like, I think it'd be really fun to show some of that stuff off and show off the different sides of building, because not everyone wants to build survival bases, not everyone wants to build creative bases, and I know a lot of people really like the like map building type stuff. So yeah, I would happily do playgrounds when we get that. People didn't know, next week we're getting PTB for the playgrounds. And then like 2 to 3 weeks after that, we'll be getting the update. So that'll be a fun one in a couple weeks. If people start working on those and have ideas and want to show them off, I'd be happy to show it off. Share them, get them out there so people can have fun. Because that's a really fun way for people to like extend the amount of playability of Grounded. If you want to play in this game, like that's a great way to do it. You can build maps, you can play maps, you can have fun. There's adventures, all sorts of really cool stuff. The creative tools that they have are going to be awesome, and they're only going to get better in this game too compared to the first one. Thanks for showing off the community builds. So cool to see builds that would never get to see otherwise. Yeah, and that's exactly why I like doing it. Like, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm streaming. That's why everyone's here watching these, is because someone did it for me. So I absolutely love being able to show off your guys' stuff. I'm always happy to show off cool things or give advice, tips and tricks, whatever I can. But that's good, Timber, because most of my builds going forward will most likely be built in playgrounds. Yeah, man. Happy to show it. Happy to see it. Yeah, other than that, I appreciate everyone hanging out for the night. Thank you again. Ludarav, Impasta, Slumber, Raider, Bacteria, SOT, Grim, not Grim, we didn't look at his tonight, and Felix. Thank you guys for letting me check these out. It was awesome. Really cool builds again. As always, blowing my mind every time. Freaking love doing this stuff and love seeing the new ideas with the new stuff. But hope everyone has a great rest of their night. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hope everyone has a great night, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Art, if you use the give up button, give up and you'll respawn. It'll be good. Yeah. Peace.